Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, Buccaneers tight end Rob Gronkowski told TMZ today while he needs time to decide whether he'll return next season, if he had to make a decision right now, he wouldn't play in 2022. Gronkowski said earlier this week he wouldn't rule out a return even if quarterback Tom Brady doesn't come back. Brady is mulling over his future, as is Packers QB Aaron Rodgers. He's said everything's on the table, including a return to the Packers. That is the best option after failing to win a second Super Bowl, believes our Keyshawn Johnson.
Aaron Rodgers would be making a mistake if he decided to go elsewhere because he didn't finish the deal. He's got to finish the deal with Green Bay.
Keyshawn of Keyshawn J and Max. ESPN's Adam Schefter's reporting the Vikings have hired Browns VP of Football Operations Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah as their new general manager. Job one for him is hiring a new head coach. The Wednesday NBA doubleheader starts with the Heat hosting the Knicks. Then the Suns carry their 7-game winning streak into a matchup against the Jazz. Coverage tips off with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN TV.
If you want to find quality new hires in the new year, post on Indeed. When you sponsor a post, you'll get matched instantly with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Oh, Casey. What a day so far, my friend. What a day so far.
It's been interesting.
And listen, this is what I live for. Because you might as well just call me the Joker, all right? I live for chaos. I live for drama, and I live for chaos. Rumors, speculations last night that Byron Leftwich is coming to Jacksonville. Now, I say rumors and I say speculation because nothing has been confirmed yet. But there are sources out there, all right? Obviously, you saw what Dilla put out there. All right, I'm not going to act like he doesn't exist. He's been on the show before. You got to give that dude his just due. And you know what? I think when he says something, sometimes you got to believe it. But at the same time, nothing's been confirmed yet. Ian Rappaport comes out and says that the Jaguars are taking their time. They're going through their options right now. Now, do you believe in Ian Rappaport? That's up for you to decide. But it has just been a joy watching this unfold before my eyes. Because nobody, I mean, yeah, you have an idea of what's going on. And if you're a Jaguars fan, you hope Byron Leftwich is coming here sooner rather than later. But then you hear the national people talk about it, and they have other ideas. And it is oil and vinegar right now. It is gasoline and fire right now. And I'm all for it, man. Bring on the chaos. Bring on the drama. It's a civil war right now in Jacksonville. And I'm just sitting back eating my popcorn, watching the end of the world.
Can we open the envelope?
Can we open the envelope?
No.
Oh, the envelope.
No.
What do you mean no?
Not yet. We don't know it's official.
Oh, man.
We got to wait.
Okay.
Did we talk about the envelope on the air?
Yeah, Brent did. Brent mentioned it.
Very briefly, though. I don't think we'll do it when the time comes with the envelope. I've told some people.
You told some people who's in the envelope?
No, I told some people about the envelope.
I was going to say, because we don't know.
We don't know.
I told my family about the envelope because that's what came the idea.
No, night. I mean, you teased it. You said that you talked to some people, you wrote down something, and when the coaches announced, we're going to open up the envelope.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I say on air and in commercial breaks sometimes.
You said on the air.
January 19th, 2:30 p.m. I wrote on it.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Yeah.
So it is pretty wild, though, isn't this whole thing?
I love it, man.
I mean, I do, too. See, that's the funny thing. Like, I think it's fascinating. In a way, I hate Dilla. Because he holds my life hostage for the next 24 hours.
Meaning what?
Well, because there's nothing official yet. We can't go off what Dilla says.
But I'm not going off what
business.
Ian Rappaport says in my business.
No kidding. Well,
yeah.
The whole thing is we can't go off what anybody says.
Sure, but
do I think Dilla is good at what he does, what he gets, and he's usually spot on? Yeah, I do that. But we can't say, hey, Dilla's reporting on TV and on radio. It's a done deal. Like, we can acknowledge it, but that's not. And that puts us in a tricky spot in our world, is that's what I'm saying. A little different than, you don't live in that world. Like, you don't live in a world where you got to go get two sources and confirm things and make sure it's definitely going to happen. And
am I not a journalist? What am I?
Well,
on this show?
Even the radio part is different than the TV part.
Okay,
is what I'm saying.
We're
not breaking in.
Expert.
You know, we're not breaking in with right now on TV saying Byron Leftwich is the next coach of the Jags. So
no,
it's
not
leaning
at all.
that way. It's looking that way. But we're also, my point being is, we're not going to say Dilla said it on social media. So it's factual. Like, you can't do that.
I mean, I'm not going to call it factual, but I have and listen, and obviously I've heard things as well, and it is what it is. Yeah, we hear things. Okay, sure. So with Dilla, though, I'm just saying, I mean, he's usually right.
Yeah,
I can't think of a time that he's wrong.
I was going to come in and praise him today if this was official.
So before, like, I went to bed, I mean,
because I think it's fascinating. I think Dilla's fascinating.
Sure. So I went to bed, didn't see any of this, and then woke up this morning and saw everything. I'm like, okay, wow, this is crazy. So, like, yeah, when I woke up this morning, I think there's a better shot of Byron Leftwich coming to Jacksonville than before I went to bed.
Yeah.
When stuff started to leak or whatever the case may be. Now, is it 100%? Absolutely not. But I'm also not going to buy the narrative that Ian Rappaport's saying, well, the Jaguars are going to slow this thing down a little bit and all that, because I posted the receipts. Ian Rappaport, as far as I'm concerned, saying Bill O'Brien interested in the Jaguars, yada, 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 and then you're posting Bill O'Brien stats. Honestly, I trust Dilla right now more than Ian Rappaport when it comes to Jaguar stuff.
Yeah, listen, I think here's the wild game. I was just down at Divoli's, by the way. We got a card opening today.
Yes.
Had to get that. And so I was telling these guys, here's the nature of the world we live in right now. And by the way, like, I am not one that, I can't believe Dilla's got it, the local guy, a kid, about being like hostage, but we are kind of hostage right now, held hostage to be like, hey, when's this going to break? When's this going to happen? When the Jags going to confirm? When are they going to sign it? It's a big difference given what Josh McDaniels did to Indianapolis, right? Or anything else. Like, until it's a good to go, it's not good to go. In our world, at least from a reporting standpoint. So that there's that part of it, right? And the fan base gets all excited about it. And by the way, it's a credit like Aaron Wilson as well, who's an NFL insider. He kind of had it tracking that way yesterday evening. I think maybe even during our show, but yesterday evening, early in the late in the afternoon. And so there were more folks starting to say, okay, this thing's heating up. And you can always feel that. You can always feel when and we thought Byron was starting to heat up yesterday. Not just because he was getting an interview. We figured he'd get an interview, but it started to trend toward what you were hearing and everything, that Byron Leftwich was going to be hit. Then Dilla kind of puts it out there last night at 9:30, 10 o'clock. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Dilla we trust, right?
Absolutely.
So then what happens? Well, then you are kind of waiting for the Rappaports and Schefters of the world to say it's a done deal. Or the Jags. Now, the Jags are always the last to confirm it because they are not going to tell anybody and confirm it, most likely. They will to the local media if we're on it, and they're not going to steer you in the wrong direction. But they are not going to confirm it until they know it's a done deal, right? They are not leaking it out there on their own, is my point. And so where does Rappaport and Schefter usually get it? Well, they usually get it from the agent. And that's in a player standpoint, even the coach standpoint. So what's fascinating about what's transpired over the last, I'd say, 18 hours or so for me, is that Byron Leftwich agent, they either don't know him or he's not talking. I don't even know if it's Sexton or not, but they're not saying that to the national guys. They're not saying that to Schefter and Rappaport.
Sure.
So why do I think Schefter and Rappaport said what they did today, this afternoon, to slow this thing down a little bit? I think that's Jaguars manufactured.
Of course.
Like, I think that's the Jags trying to steal back the narrative a little bit. That's saying, hey, wait a minute now. It's not officially done. It's going to be done, but we're going to announce it on our watch. Not Dilla's watch, our watch.
No,
right? And so that's kind of, my view, how it's all happening. But it's a fascinating world with all that happening, and it leads us still in somewhat of a limbo, even though I think 99% of us would say, okay, Leftwich is going to be the guy. We believe that. But it's still that 1% of, well, until they stamp it, it's not fully happening.
But, like, as far as, I feel like the narrative's been controlled the entire time by Ian Rappaport, though.
Yeah, I think you give that a little bit too much
I mean, so
I never once thought Bill O'Brien was coming to Jacksonville.
Okay,
so he didn't control my narrative.
Yeah, but then why would you tweet out all his stats? Like, I didn't say I didn't see when Byron Leftwich was a candidate for the Jaguars interview. I didn't see Ian Rappaport 3 times say, well, if you look at Byron Leftwich and his stats, what he's been able to do with Tom Brady and Jameis Winston, like, I didn't see that one time. But for whatever reason, he had to not double down. He tripled down on Bill O'Brien and said, well, this is the reason why the Jaguars are interested in that.
Yeah.
Is that Ian Rappaport going and saying, well, I got to defend the Jaguars because I really care about Bill O'Brien? Or is that somebody from the Jaguars saying, you better defend Bill O'Brien? Like, I don't think Ian Rappaport on his own accord said, you know what? I really like Bill O'Brien a lot. I better defend this guy, and I better give reasons why. 3 tweets why the Jaguars are bringing in Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, I think it's
what other coach got that treatment?
It might be a little bit of semantics, and maybe more did. I feel like some of these GMs have gotten a lot of that kind of love from the national guys, if I'm being completely honest. But I think Austin, by the way, the other guy that has gotten more attention than maybe the others is actually Eberflus. You know, he's a guy that's been tweeted out quite a bit by a lot of folks. And so what I think the way that world operates, and I haven't lived in Rappaport's world and Schefter's world, but I think the way that operates is you take care of us, we take care of you type of thing. Like, I'm going to give you this because I think you can help me down the road. Well, this might have been a helping of down the road on the Bill O'Brien front, whether it's some people believe Trent Baalke was putting it out there to help Trent Baalke out. Some people believe it was Bill O'Brien to help Bill O'Brien out. Some people believe let's just get another name in the mix because Agent X needs to get another name in the mix. Any of those things, right?
Well, then it's hard for me to trust that guy, though, Brent. I mean, if that's what we're talking about.
But did they interview Bill O'Brien?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, well, then why wouldn't – I mean, they did. He said they were interviewing Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, but then he also put out 3 tweets of why they're interviewing Bill O'Brien as to, like, justify it.
Well, but the guy just got fired. I mean, wouldn't you – people are probably questioning him, saying why are they –
But why does Ian Rappaport care about that?
Well, like I said, that's where you take care of your guy. I mean, that's where you're taking care of your people.
But I'm saying, why does Ian Rappaport care what Jaguars fans think about an interview? But he did.
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard for me to, like, okay, I get it. Maybe you're trying to cover for somebody. Maybe it's just out of your own goodwill that you're a big old Bill O'Brien fan.
I think you do me a favor here. I do you a favor down the road.
Okay, but then if that's how the landscape is, well, then it's hard for me to trust a guy like that, as opposed to a guy who maybe leaked it, who I don't think has anything to really to gain from it.
I would rather have a hard time trusting Ian Rappaport if he pushed all that narrative and then Bill O'Brien never even interviewed. At least he interviewed for the job. I mean, he was on the list. But I think a lot of people were asking, like, why the hell is Bill O'Brien on the list? And that could have justified some of the tweets. It'd be interesting asking Ian Rappaport down the road when this is all settled, that if he would come clean on that. But it didn't bother me to the point it bothers you in that regard.
No, I mean, it bothers me when I'm supposed to trust what Ian Rappaport says when you obviously you're not doing this out of the goodness of just,
Okay, let me ask you this. Why do you trust what Dilla says?
Because what does he have to gain from it?
I don't know.
Dude's not even
Twitter followers.
Dude's not even. I think if he truly cared about Twitter followers and all that stuff, then he would be leaking out a lot more. Like, I don't think he really cares about Twitter followers.
Okay,
and I don't think Ian Rappaport cares about Twitter followers.
Well, I don't either. This isn't set up to hammer Dilla.
No, for
I
sure.
think this is to compliment him instead. The reason why you believe it is because he's been right before.
Well, because he's been right, and he's not he's got no reason to be wrong. Like, he's not being swayed by anything.
Yeah, he does. But I'm just saying he's been right. So I think a lot of the people on social media and everywhere else, and ourselves included, say, yeah, I believe that he's been right before. He's got a good source.
And Ian Rappaport's been right all the time. But when it comes to Jaguar stuff, I feel like you're corrupted. No, listen, if Ian Rappaport wants to break right now that Sean Payton's going to go coach someplace else, Doug Peterson's got a new job someplace else, dude, I'll follow that to a T. But for whatever reason, when it's about the Jaguar stuff, he goes out of his way to act differently, to act uncharacteristically for whatever reason, whether it's a source or you're trying to help somebody out, and that's hard for me to trust you then.
That's interesting. I guess I just don't see it, though. I don't know if Casey does or not, too. But
how many other coaches did he defend? Ian Rappaport. Look it up.
I'll have to look it up. Yeah, I don't know.
It was weird.
It was so weird.
It was different.
Because it wasn't one time. It was 3 times he did that.
I guess, but my moral of the story, my point is, you think Dilla's right because he's been right.
I'm not saying.
My point is, Ian Rappaport, was he right about the interview? Yes, because he's been right.
I'm not saying Dilla's 100% correct. I'm saying I would trust Dilla over Ian Rappaport. And now what the news is just because I don't trust Ian Rappaport. Because he's given me a reason not to trust him. Dilla has not given me a reason not to trust him yet.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think Ian Rappaport's lost my trust because he tweeted 3 times about Bill O'Brien.
No,
and not about
I'm
everybody else.
Brent, you're not listening, man. I'm saying,
listen, yeah.
okay, I'm saying it's Dilla or Ian Rappaport about who right now has nothing to lose and who's got everything to gain, all this stuff. I'm taking Dilla just because I don't think he's been corrupted. I don't think he's ever put out anything that's, tries to help himself out, help his brand out. I think he just tweets what he hears. So I trust that a lot more than a guy, when it comes to Jaguars news, puts out these weird these tweets that nobody really asked for, that don't make any sense in the grand narrative of trying to report a Jaguars story.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
It would be interesting if, I get your point in this sense, that Rappaport's being worked from both sides, right?
Sure.
He's being worked from the Jags side of things, like their angle side, and potentially through agent Leftwich's side, right? So, and in that regard, it's kind of a different deal. I guess I'm just a little... I just haven't lost just because of a few extra tweets on Bill O'Brien, even if there was an agenda to it. I still believe what Rappaport and Schefter say. I'm just a little surprised that by this time, almost some 18 hours later, they haven't kind of confirmed what Dilla reported last night.
No,
because
for sure.
by now, usually they have. That's the next shoe to drop. And really, none of the national guys have. I texted or tweeted somebody even an hour later, after I saw Dilla tweet it. I can't believe I'm spending this much time talking about you, Dilla. That he tweeted it. That I can't believe by now nobody else is saying anything.
Yeah.
I was just shocked. And now we fast forward to 3 o'clock on Wednesday.
Didn't
and those
Wilson
guys
say
still
something?
don't have anything. Well, again, Wilson's been the one guy that's been very more.
But he confirmed it, right? Or not?
No, I think confirmed heading that way, leading
Okay.
that way. I don't think anybody else has really said he's matter of fact the coach.
Okay.
I think Stroud out of Tampa has said that it's getting close, right? And he talked, was it Stroud or no? I think it was Wilson that talked about the staff that you start asking about, and that's also another lead, by the way. That when these guys start poking around and asking about staff, that means hey, they're getting pretty close to a job. And then you can narrow it down. Is it Chicago? Is it Jacksonville? All those things. And so, you're putting pieces together. So. I think that's what's happening. It's been a fascinating process, but I think you started it and the show like this, and I think I believe this too. I think I expect Byron Leftwich to be the next head coach of the Jags, but as of now, it's not confirmed. It's just not a done deal enough to be confirmed.
No,
and
for sure.
and I think if both sides felt really good about where it was at and it was to that point. As 99.9%, I think by now one of the national guys would have said that or the agent would have said that and say, all right, get ready to set up that press conference. It hasn't gotten to that point. Now, that could be an hour away from happening, but it hasn't gotten to that point. I think there's probably a principled agreement in place, handshake agreement, be like, all right, let's just iron this thing out, a couple of details, and we'll rock and roll. But I guess what's his name scared me the most, McDaniels on this front. Josh
McDaniels?
Yeah, just because the way he turned around on Indianapolis. And with all these other jobs out there in the NFL still, I'm just waiting for all right, does something go wrong with a potential note or two in the contract, a need or a want? And then Leftwich said, hey, you know what, I'm going to go back and visit Chicago. I don't know. I guess I'm a little scarred by that McDaniels situation in Indianapolis, and it's about the only thing that hasn't happened to the Jags organization.
No, for sure. Do you think it benefits national narrative, though, if this gets hashed out longer?
I think it helps. I would say, first of all, I think there's two sides. I think, one, it helps the Jags retake. See, I don't believe that Schefter and Rappaport are pushing this out there so then they could later say, I broke it. I know Twitter is saying that. I don't believe that. I believe the Jags are pushing that narrative out there so they can take back the story, control the timeline of the story, and do this at their own pace. And they don't need to be in a hurry because no shoe has dropped. I also believe that the agents involved, and again, usually Jimmy Sexton controls a lot of this stuff, that I think the agents involved want to keep everybody in play as long as possible with these 9 openings because that creates leverage for your guy or a potential candidate, or maybe when you're doing the contract in dollars. So you see, I think there's a couple of things at work here that are in the best interest at stalling this right now. And I think those are the people, by the way, those are the sides that the Rappaports and Schefters talk to And I think they're being a little bit worked by both of those sides right now to slow this thing down at the moment. So that's just my take on it. I mean, I don't know if we know exactly, right? I mean, there could be a lot more detail involved in that. But I do think after covering this stuff for a long enough time, that's kind of what's going around in my head of why we don't know for sure right now, at least from a national writer or even the Jags to say, all right, get ready to roll. Waiting for that text to go off.
Oh, yeah.
Hasn't happened. So, do you like Byron Leftwich as the next coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I do.
Don't tell me yet.
Oh, okay.
Let's take a break.
I think if you listen to the show, you already know how I feel about that one.
We have talked a lot about Byron.
Yeah.
We'll bring back some of the conversations, though, of Byron Leftwich. And I have one major concern what's going on in Jacksonville right now about Byron Leftwich.
Okay.
And I wish if I had a line to Byron, I would text him a couple things.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I'd text him. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Lingering light rain and drizzle will be ending. Mostly cloudy, breezy, and chilly today with highs only in the mid-50s. Becoming partly cloudy tonight. We'll drop into the mid-40s. And partly cloudy tomorrow. We will manage to get to near 60 degrees in the afternoon. I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics, like 80s rock anthems.
The time is now, and I'm so proud. You're the greatest quitter of all. Tobacco free, won't you believe? You're right there where you wanted to be. You're staying strong, you're standing tall. You're a quitter on a mission to be. You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter. You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Ah, cool. Lasers. Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
If you've been involved in a car accident and are not sure of your legal options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jacks, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jacks, Dream18.com.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
2022 Acura deals have been unleashed with 2.9% APR at your First Coast Acura dealers. Upgrade to the award-winning 2022 RDX crossover SUV and save when you shop deals at firstcoastacuradealers.com. Offer excludes Type S edition.
Life always has its challenges, but if you feel hopeless or suicidal, you don't have to face it alone.
I'm Dr. Christine Caulfield, CEO of LSF Health Systems, and our free Link to Life program can help. We'll connect you with a care coordinator who will work with you to build better tomorrows. Please take suicide off the table. Contact Link to Life at 904-582-3252 or visit lsfhealthsystems.org.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
I'd like to try TV, and I've had some opportunities, and yet I really don't. I talked to Drew a little bit about it last night. I don't know that part of it that well, but that'd be something that would interest me. And so I think the hardest part is sitting in your chair saying, wait a minute, you haven't talked with a network yet? You haven't talked with, not a word. So hopefully that opportunity comes.
I didn't listen to most of it. Was it part of the end of Sean Payton?
It was?
Yeah. Gosh, that's good.
Nicely done.
Actually, the voice, I was like, I think that's Sean Payton. But the words are like, all right, what was he just talking about? Opportunity comes. I don't think he's going to coach.
Television.
Oh, television.
Although
you know what's cool about Sean Payton? Is I think he went from being a guy from the outside that I viewed kind of prickly and as not very likable.
You wanted to fight him for a while.
Yeah,
remember
there was
that?
Remember that one time?
Yeah.
But I think I don't think that's him. I think he changed. He actually admitted that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that part I tweeted out about the media, where his relation, like he said, in his first 5 or 6 years, he wasn't very good at that, and he should have been better. And listen, he's going out the door, so it's easier to say stuff. But I think there's a bigger picture thing. I really believe the Jacksonville Jaguars have been hurt by their inability to develop relationships with Urban Meyer, Trent Baalke, and others. Some of it blame on COVID in the last couple of years through this hellish time and a win-loss record. To the point of the Ian Rappaport stuff, sometimes it's nice to have friends, that can defend you a little bit. Bill O'Brien even had a friend, right?
Yep.
Urban didn't have that. Baalke doesn't have that. I know you guys all think I am Baalke's friend.
Well, Baalke's got Shad Khan, though.
He does.
Right now. And that's the biggest friend you could have.
But Shad's not a transparent guy, so there's no reason for seriously us to sit here and defend Trent Baalke. I'm not preserving any relationship with Trent Baalke.
No,
I'm not
sure.
why would I just think there's a natural thing to that. And I don't think anybody in our business really goes out of probably some people do, go out of their way. But sometimes there's a subconscious. I always say this about the locker room. You go to that locker room, you talk to those guys after every loss. You guys are 2-14, right? Mm-hmm. There's this element that you almost listen, you're trying to bust your butt. You're playing hard. It hurts you. It eats at you. I can tell by the way I talk to you at your locker 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Just like it eats at the fan who's listening to the show and they're so pissed off and they can't believe they're losing. Well, we lost that whole element over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. To us, we have no idea if the player's mad or frustrated or if he's just happy to get a check or you just become this outsider in these last couple of years. So I thought Peyton was really interesting on he actually said, I think they should open locker rooms again.
Yeah.
He said he misses that part. That was wild to hear that from a guy I think early in his career that I thought was kind of prickly in that sense.
It's refreshing to hear. I think when you're whether you're a young football player or a young coach in the league, and obviously it's an ego-driven sport and an ego-driven environment, I think that you got it all figured out, and you don't need the media because you see them as negative. I think as you progress in your career, whether it's being a player or a coach, you realize that the media can benefit you. If you take time to construct your words in a positive manner, they can benefit you and they can get that message across. And they're a good tool to have at your disposal. It's just the fact of when you slip up, when you say something you shouldn't have said, they can be your worst enemy. So, yeah, it's good to see that Sean Payton, kind of had an evolution where he figured that out. And I think a lot of players kind of have that evolution eventually.
Yeah. What do you think about Byron Leftwich? Listen, people have listened to the show. We've talked about every candidate, but do you love the hire if that ends up happening and gets done?
Yeah, I love the hire. I think that if you missed out on Doug Peterson and if you missed out, I should say Jim Caldwell first because he was my number one. If you missed out on Jim Caldwell, if you missed out on Doug Peterson and you're going for that third guy, then yeah, I think Byron Leftwich is that guy. I liked him better than any other candidate out there, whether it was Nathaniel Hackett, whether it was Eberflus, whether it was Kellen Moore, whether it was Bowles. I liked him better than everybody else.
I told you this a couple of weeks ago. I'm with you, by the way. I think Caldwell and or Peterson made more sense for this franchise. Where it's at. Needs to be settled down. It's in a bad place. It's been a couple of years. I think you can extend that even 4 years. I think it's been bad. It's been dysfunctional, been disjointed. There's been no growth. It's actually got worse, which didn't even seem like rock bottom could get any worse. I think those guys would settle it down. I think you're asking a little bit more of a wild card in Byron Leftwich. He's never done it. He can be a great play caller. Great play callers aren't always great head coaches.
Correct.
It's a big difference. We've talked about that. We know that. I think we're all savvy enough to know that. So, that being said, a couple weeks ago, after the first interview, I really spent a lot of time looking up Leftwich stuff more and more. Outside of what we already knew. I played quarterback for the Jags, all that stuff. And I think there's a lot to like about him. And so, if you go back to our conversations about him, I think that following week, what I came away with, I think Leftwich could really be a good culture guy. And culture gets overplayed and overtalked. But the bottom line is maybe function or functional should be a better term for Jags headquarters because it's been dysfunctional, right? So he can help that. Why? Well, he's in Pittsburgh for a long time. I got to believe he learned some stuff in Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin. And Pittsburgh organization. I've told you this before. I think Arizona, although they have not had the win-loss record that a lot of these other franchises do, I think they are a very well-run organization, and they have a lot of good people in their organization. And over the last couple of years, I'm not sure everybody's raving about the Jags in that sense. Tampa with Bruce Arians, again, most people view very good. Obviously winning culture. Been around Brady now. You talk about the people you hang around with. Well, Byron Leftwich has been hanging around with some pretty good folks and successful folks. I like that. I really think he can help the culture. I think people are going to want to see Leftwich succeed. I think they want to see this work. I think he's a good dude. I think he's earned that. And I think he's got a lot of respect. And I think that means you have a good chance of getting a good staff around you. And then I think the players will really love this. I think the players, Shaq Griffin, I thought Caldwell would be respected, and I think players would have liked that. I think Peterson be respected with the Lombardi Trophy. I think players wouldn't have minded that. I hear he's a really good guy. I think he's a fun guy to be around. I think there's a lot of Andy Reidism stuff in there. But I think Leftwich, Shaq Griffin told us this on Jags Report Live a few Mondays ago, where he said it'd be nice to have a younger guy. And I really do think that a 42-year-old Byron Leftwich, out of all those other guys, could probably relate to the locker room better than the others. And so I think there's a lot to like in all that. And obviously the Trevor Lawrence factor, right? He's worked with a lot of QBs, and I think he can get a lot out of Trevor Lawrence. Just look, Jameis Winston threw 30 picks, but he threw for 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns. And a couple of years later, Tom Brady, who is Tom Brady, but throws for 5,000 yards and 43 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. We take that. Even with some up, even if the interceptions are up, not 30, but up a little bit, we took those kind of yards and those kind of touchdowns from Trevor Lawrence. So I think there's a lot to like. Here's what I'd like to text Byron Leftwich, if I could. Don't take this job just to take a job. Don't take this job if you're not going to be able to put the people around you that you want around you, because you've seen it. And my one fear of this organization, and this is why I have advocated for Trent Baalke not to be here, although I know some of you folks who listen to the show and are on Twitter say otherwise, is that it needs a reset. You need to flush the building. And part of that is Baalke. And if you're going to get jammed in here because you're maybe, in some words, desperate to get a head coaching job and just take a job and jammed in with Baalke, or maybe even jammed in with other staff members that you don't want because they're under contract, don't let that happen to you. That's what I would do. That's not a recipe to succeed. That has been a major problem around here. Reset the damn thing. Bring your own people in. Lean on the Arians and the Tomlins of the world and the Arizonas of the world and say, this is what I need around me. This is why they're successful. Not just plug and play with somebody that I don't really know, but I'm just hoping that it works in a Trent Baalke. And so I hope they give him the ability to say, I either want to roll with Baalke or not. Or give him the ability to say, I want to go bring my own defensive coordinator in, even though Joe Cullen's under contract, or whatever it might be. And by the way, no, I'm slamming Joe. Just give you an example.
Okay.
So I'm just not convinced of that, Austin. I'm not convinced that the next guy that comes in here, but especially Byron Leftwich, is going to have that full control of kind of what Urban had, is bring everything he wants in here. Urban got that wish, just did it all wrong.
So you think if Byron Leftwich comes in here as the next head coach, Trent Baalke is going to go, I'm going to pick your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator?
No. He'll pick the offensive coordinator, defense. Well, I do think will they try to push, say, Joe Cullen on him instead of going to get a Vic Fangio or somebody else? And by the way, we like Joe. That's a bad example, but Joe's this staff is under contract for the next few years.
Yeah, but keep in mind, they're still part of the Urban Meyer regime. I think part of these negotiations, part of these meetings incur that, hey, if you want to come coach the Jacksonville Jaguars, you're going to bring in your own staff. It's hard for me to remember a time where a team brought in a brand new head coach after the head coach just got fired previously, and they said, hey, we want you to keep this guy, or we want you to keep that guy. I mean, I know Shad Khan maybe isn't the most X's and O's savvy guy, but he has to understand that if you're going to bring a new head coach in, you have to trust that they're going to bring in their guys. That's how this game works.
And by the way, I do think that's not the biggest one in the room that I'm talking about, but I think that is plausible in play, that they will say, hey, we got some guys under contract already, even if you don't think, let's lean toward here first.
Sure.
And then if you can go find some guys. The bigger one in that is what you just said, is Baalke.
Okay.
Basically, they're doing that. There's no difference. I mean, there's offensive line coach. Well, that doesn't make. Who was already left? Did the offensive line coach leave? No, Warhop's still there.
Still there.
Offensive line coach. Well, he's under contract for the next couple of years. He's going to stay. Well, aren't they saying that about Baalke, essentially? He's under contract for the next couple of years, so he's staying. That's what he's being shoved into that deal right now as Leftwich. That's really my overall point, Austin. Yeah. It's don't come to Jacksonville and take the job because it's a head coaching job if you're not going to be able to shape it how you want. Now, if Leftwich gets up on that podium when he's the Jacksonville Jaguars coach and says, man, I believe in Baalke. I've done my work in Baalke. I think he had a good draft this year. I think he's had good past success. I've talked to a lot of people, and I know him a little bit. I think we can really make it work. I like what he's all about. Well, then we're going to have to trust Leftwich in that regard. But I don't think there's anybody that believes there's that kind of relationship with Baalke and Leftwich. And so why wouldn't Leftwich be able to come into a situation where he can say, I want to work with a guy that maybe hasn't worked with 6 different head coaches in 6 years?
I think Shad Khan likes Trent Baalke. I think Trent Baalke is still going to be here. I think that Shad Khan is going to go to Byron Leftwich and say, in the football operations, you choose. You choose the coaches, you choose the position guys, and you shape it how you want. I think any head coach that's coming into a new situation would get that luxury. Now, whether or not, Baalke and Byron Leftwich could work together, I have no idea, but I don't think Leftwich really cares. I think Leftwich is more focused on the football side of things.
Okay, but that's my point, Austin. He should care.
Okay.
He should care because what we've experienced in Jackson, that's why I want to text him. Okay? He should care because what we've experienced is dysfunction.
Of course.
Doug Marrone didn't care that he was working with Dave Caldwell and Tom Coughlin until 2 years in, and then he probably cared.
But you got the vibe with Tom Coughlin. That was the mix because you didn't know who was running what. I think if Byron Leftwich comes in here, and once again, I'm not advocating for Trent Baalke. I've been wanting him gone. But I think if Byron Leftwich comes in here, it's okay, here's what my job is. Here's what your job is. Respect it and let's go. Like, I don't think that the waters are going to be murky because, he's not going to get to choose his GM if that's the case.
Yeah. I would just, again, this is less about, well, it's not. Okay. How many, to your point recently, you said, like, whether it's Joe Shane in New York or Poles in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
These are sought-after guys. They all had, 3-4 different interviews, maybe even more. I think if there were only 4 GM jobs open. So if there were more GM jobs, they would have had it. I guess my overriding factor here, Austin, is if there were 32 GM jobs open, I don't think Trent Baalke would have an interview.
No, without a doubt. And
so then you're asking me to take a job with somebody that wouldn't have, that nobody else would want in the league. Like, I don't think that's a recipe for Byron Leftwich's success, because regardless of if he has control over his staff and he's going to coach the football team, how you work with the GM, the inner workings of the building to create the culture, all those things, that GM is important. That relationship is important. So I guess my feeling is he's being thrown into this spot and has to acquiesce a little bit to, okay, I got a head coaching job. Fine, I'll take Trent. We'll see how it goes. Like, that's a bad way to be successful. We'll see how it goes.
No, it's a horrible way. But then it goes to show you, like, if that's the case, and if you're Shad Khan and you say, hey, you got to come here, but it's going to be Trent Baalke, well, then that tells you about the owner then.
Well, that is.
I mean, does it not?
Well,
like,
okay.
If you're an owner and you want to bring in the guy that you're coveting, which supposedly might be Byron Leftwich, we'll see. And if Byron Leftwich is that guy, and Byron's like, yeah, I like it, but I don't know about Trent Baalke. Like, if you don't give him the option to say, I want to bring in my own guy in terms of a GM, then what does it say about you? Then do you really want your guy or not?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. But that's my point. I want Byron to ask that question.
Sure.
And
yeah,
that's why I would make sure you ask this question. If you want to bring in your own guy, Adrian Wilson or whoever the names are you want to throw out there, then I don't know if I'd take the job without being able to bring in my own guy if I'm not comfortable with Baalke, unless he says, you know what, I'm cool with this guy.
And maybe that's what's taking
and the fans are wrong, and the clowns are wrong. Everybody's wrong, like about Baalke. You guys are wrong. We'll show you. He's cool. We can work with him, all this stuff. And so maybe Leftwich has done that homework. But don't miss that part of it. That part of it is important, is my point. I think there are 2 major parts. You can't fit people together in an organization if you want to function as one. They're never going to function as one. They're sooner or later going to break apart and worry about number one, which is their self. The other part of it is I really believe they have to put a good staff together. And so if some of this includes a lot of guys still on the staff, and he's just going to be throwing these guys because they have time left on their deal, I wouldn't fall to that. I'd ask the question, hey, I might like some of these guys because they're good coaches. That's fine. That's okay. That happens. I think there are some good coaches on this staff. But don't be forced into anything. Ask the right questions. Have some power in there other than just saying, hey, I'm a head coach in the NFL right now. Let's see how it works. I think people get lost in that. You get a dream job. You're getting a great opportunity, getting paid a lot of money. It's easy to just say, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to make it work. I trust myself so well. Well, you can't just trust yourself. You got to trust everything else around it. And I'm not sure if it's a building right now I'd trust too much.
Listen, I mean, I don't know what the litmus test is for Byron Leftwich. I don't know how many teams want him. All I know is he had 2 interviews. Okay? So I'm not sure how hot the market is right now for Byron Leftwich. I know if Tom Brady retires and you got Blaine Gabbert or somebody else that you got to coach, it might go down. So, like, I don't think that Byron Leftwich is going to have the ability to just have any job that he wants come down the line. I don't think it's like Josh McDaniels right now.
Yeah.
So I think there is a grace period that Byron Leftwich has to acknowledge and say, it's maybe now or never. No?
I disagree with you there.
So you think if Tom Brady retires next year and they have Blaine Gabbert in transition, and let's say they win 5 games that year, you think there's going to be a lot more demand for Byron Leftwich after that season?
Yeah, listen, I understand that's a little bit far-reaching. I get what you're saying. I believe, yes, I'm just going to tell you what I believe.
Okay.
I believe for the next few years, Byron Leftwich will be a candidate, and a pretty hot candidate in the NFL.
Okay.
I understand that could take place. But I think even with that, even with a bad year, he could rebound the next year and be another hot candidate. He's still 42 years old.
Okay.
My point is he doesn't have to jump into something just because. I don't view him as a desperate candidate. I never have. Now, some people do. I've talked to some people, and they view him that way. I don't. I think he's an up-and-coming rising star that's going to be interviewed for the next few years. More like a Daboll kind of guy. And I understand it comes with success.
But remember, no one was talking about Daboll until the playoff game. Dable was quiet.
He had gotten pretty quiet, yeah.
Nobody
so it's got to come with some success is what you're saying.
When the season was over, nobody requested Dable. And then all of a sudden they do get in the playoffs, and then he's like the hottest name.
Yeah.
So I think if Byron Leftwich, and once again, this is all speculation. I think if Tom Brady walks away and you're left with Blaine Gabbert or some rookie quarterback or some just free agent, I don't know, Ryan Fitzpatrick, whoever the case may be. And I think that if you finish third in your division, then I'm not sure if there's going to be that much of a demand for Byron Leftwich as a head coach. I don't think so. I look at all the success that, and keep in mind, this is different, but I look at all the success that Eric Bieniemy's had. He's gone to how many AFC Championship games?
Yeah.
And that guy can't get a job.
He's got interviews 3 years, though.
No, for sure.
So, he must not be getting the job done in some respect in the interview.
But then
I don't view Byron as that.
Okay, but then I look at what Dable did this year. And, yeah, the Bills were up and down. You know, their offense, 6 points, whatever, against the Jaguars. Wasn't a good look. No one's talking about Dable until you have success. I don't know if Byron Leftwich is going to have enough success this next season without Tom Brady to warrant head coaching hires. Now, I will say this, though. You want to text Byron Leftwich and say, make sure that you have complete control, and I agree with you. But then I'd also text Shad Khan and say, hey, Shad Khan, give Byron Leftwich complete control.
Well, I would too.
Tell Byron Leftwich that, hey, pick your own GM. If you don't like Trent Baalke, then so be it. Don't pair him up with Trent Baalke just because that's what you want. That's what I text Shad Khan.
Yeah, I would text Shad too. If you think just hiring a head coach is going to change everything, then you're wrong. You got to change the building. You got to change the structure. You got to change what's been in there. You got to change how you're doing it. And it hasn't been working. And don't set this young man up for success in his for failure in his first head coaching job. I don't think that's a great recipe because you might never get another one. Mm-hmm. You might never get another one. And it's still life-changing money, life-changing job. You'll always have a job in the NFL. That's fine. But if you want to be great, I'd make sure I had this stuff around me, if you could. I hope he's been given that leash because otherwise he doesn't feel like he has any leverage. I feel like he has more leverage than he thinks he does. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. By the way, Jenna Lane from Tampa from ESPN will join us at 4 o'clock to talk a little bit more about Byron Leftwich. What is happening on the campus of the University of North Florida? There's an easy way to find out. Go to UNFospreys.com. Middle of the winter sports season right now. Check out news, schedules, and results. Men's and women's basketball tickets on sale as well at UNFospreys.com. And the spring season is on the horizon, and the schedule is out in softball and baseball. Find out how you can get tickets. Put it on the calendar. All you have to do is visit UNFospreys.com.
Watching TaxSlayer calculate your refund feels like climbing to the apex of a roller coaster.
Here we go!
And flying down the tracks. At maximum refund speed. File for free with TaxSlayer Simply Free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
You can rain out baseball, you can rain out tennis, you can rain out golf, but you can't rain out life. Sometimes, no matter how hard it's coming down, you've got to get in your car, brave the elements, and get to those who need you. That's why you need windshield wipers you can trust. You need Bosch Focus Wipers. They handle the harshest weather so you can reach life's important moments. And right now, if you buy 2 Bosch Focus Wipers at Advance Auto Parts, you can save $15 by mail in rebate. See what matters most with Bosch.
Well, the holidays are behind us, and that means nothing but open road ahead. So make every mile this new year the best it can be in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota's got 500 new Toyotas available and ready for wherever you want to go in 2022. Plus, every new car purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty and Arlington's 30-day exchange program. Where will your new Toyota take you in 2022? Find out and shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
The Tom Coughlin J Fund Wine Tasting Gala is back. Thursday, March 3rd, join Coach Coughlin on the scenic downtown riverfront for culinary delights from 35 of Jacksonville's best restaurants and hundreds of the world's most renowned wines. Go to tcjfund.org/wine.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7. And we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Quitting nicotine isn't easy, which is why Tobacco Free Florida offers free tools and services like free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're also trying out music to help motivate smokers to quit.
Not another cigarette would be late. Now there's someone living tobacco free. It's you.
Wow. Okay. Maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
When you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE, have you tried those little blue pills? Have they let you down? Have they left you more frustrated? The answer isn't more blue pills with awful side effects. The answer is a private consultation with a specialist in men's health at Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom and Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. There's no pain and no surgery. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom without little blue pills, schedule a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
The Players is proud to support Episcopal Children's Services, which helps children in our community build a strong foundation for educational success. It's 41 days until the Players.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
Did you know that you have the power to positively impact a local child's life? It's as easy as donating to Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel provides counseling to abused children. Daniel helps homeless teens find shelter and learn to live independently. Daniel connects kids with foster families and strengthens at-risk families so they can stay together. They've done all this and more for 135 years. Please become a part of improving the lives of local children and families by donating at danielkids.org today.
Brian and I have had good conversations throughout the year, and when it comes time to make a decision, we'll have a conversation, and that'll be that. It won't be a long, drawn out process, and I think that's what's best for me, for him, for the organization, and for all the other decisions that need to be made.
That is Aaron Rodgers. We asked what you like most about Byron Leftwich. Coach Ripley says credibility with the players' ability to recruit talent for coaching staff and the ability to talk free agency and giving the Jags a shot. I agree with that, too. I think he has the best chance to put a staff together if given the rope to do so. Again, a lot of people on social media, on YouTube side, it's funny how we have like different reactions on Twitter and YouTube on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. And people are like, well, Brent's trying to talk him out of it coming. And like I think somebody said they passed through now the mentions, but you think Byron's wide-eyed. No, I don't think Byron's wide-eyed. I just think you've got to know your leverage and you got to know what's going to make you great. Like, much like everybody else over the last 24 hours, I think is very high and on the emotion of, hey, this is cool, right? Let's bring Byron Leftwich back. I think he can be great. Well, that doesn't hide the facts that this place has been a disaster the last couple years. That doesn't hide the warts. Well, where are the warts? The warts are some of the leftover stuff maybe in the building. That maybe even GM, that I got to make sure I'm not being put in a situation to fail or that will fail down the road. So, Trevor Lawrence is a great draw, but Trevor Lawrence and Byron Leftwich cannot save everything. They've tried a lot of different coaches around here to try to save things and get the culture right. Do I think those guys are all bad at their job? No. Do I think they had a great setup? Well, I think something went wrong in the setup. I've said this countless times. I think the new coaches have done a bad job hiring key positions on their staff, from offensive coordinator especially, if you go all the way back to Gus Bradley. And then I think the level of dysfunction in the building because of the structure of the building has been there too much. And over the last 4 years, that certainly has been the case since 2018. I just think you have to caution that. You have to be careful of that. You got to do everything to rule that out.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I like Byron Leftwich because the guy runs screen passes, which I'm a really big fan of. In terms of the cautionary tale of Byron Leftwich coming to Jacksonville, listen, I think if you're a good coach, you're going to be a good coach, and that can overcome anything. I think if I look at like what Andy Reid's been able to do in Kansas City, keep in mind, Andy Reid's been through a couple GMs himself, and he never lost step of what the culture is, what the players are, and what how talented that team is with all its success. I mean, they didn't skip a beat between GMs. So while a GM is super important, and obviously, you know how I feel about the Trent Baalke situation, I hope that Leftwich gets to pick it. But if he doesn't and he still comes here, I'm going to trust the fact that he's a great coach and he can overcome that, and eventually it all play out for itself.
Yeah, that's a good call, and that's where you're really keeping your fingers crossed. And maybe he gets the lunch table, right? Maybe it is Baalke, but he also gets Chris Godwin.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be nice, man.
Where else would he make an impact? And what more about Byron that maybe you don't know or we don't know? Jenna Lane joins us next. I have a TV hit as well, so Austin will start the interview. I'll join him. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Jenna Lane from ESPN joins us coming up here in Jacksonville when we come back.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine is a fully accredited, tuition-free state public school that gives children an edge for a lifetime of success. FSDB is nationally recognized for its educational services designed for students' unique communication and accessibility needs. Eligible pre-K and kindergarten through 12th grade students benefit from small class sizes, advanced technology, and various recreation, extracurricular, and performing arts activities. Transportation and boarding services are free to any eligible deaf or blind student, kindergarten through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. My name is Trent Ferguson, and I'm a proud graduate of this wonderful school. This place changes lives. To learn more information or to apply for enrollment, call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org.
Well, the holidays are behind us, and that means nothing but open road ahead. So make every mile this new year the best it can be in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota's got 500 new Toyotas available and ready for wherever you want to go in 2022. Plus, every new car purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty and Arlington's 30-day exchange program. Where will your new Toyota take you in 2022? Find out and shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
You're invited to shop at the White Harvest Farms and Farmers Market every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a market of fresh and affordable farm-to-table produce that comes from a 10.5-acre urban located at 4850 Moncrief Road. There's volunteering, classes, and farming demonstrations. Also, if you're interested in becoming a vendor or volunteer, call 904-354-4162 or visit the White Harvest Farms Eventbrite page. White Harvest Farms wants to be your favorite produce market. This initiative benefits the Clara White Mission.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? With nights getting longer, it might be time to refresh your headlights. You'll see better and drive safer. Why not try Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs? They have the furthest down road light, and right now you can get a $10 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy two. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or free next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Giants have done everything possible to screw up quarterback Daniel Jones. That very blunt assessment today from Giants co-owner John Mara in explaining why Jones deserves another chance to start. Mara said they need to surround him with better help. New GM Joe Shane says the team plans to build an offense around Jones to accentuate what he does best. Baywatch in the NFL continues as in Green and Tampa. Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady has said his family will play a big role in whether he returns. Packers QB Aaron Rodgers has said all options are on the table for him, among them asking for a trade. Landing with the Broncos would be the perfect move for Rodgers, says ESPN's Dominique Foxworth.
They have some really good receivers, a good tight end, and a really, really good defense. That's one of the things, if you look at Aaron Rodgers' playoff history, the defense and, frankly, the special teams on that onside kick and the block punt and block field goals, those were the things that had let him down. So going to Denver would be a place where he wouldn't be concerned with that.
Dominique Foxworth on Get Up. ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting the Vikings hired Browns VP of Football Operations Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah as their new general manager.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Well, I mean, I think ultimately you got to be a leader of men. You got to be a leader of men. You got to have the ability to communicate with a lot of different type of people because football players come from everywhere now. I talk about it all the time. I remember when I first got in this league, it felt as if it was very few guys in the league from where I was from. Right? It just felt that way when I was in the league, 03, 04, when I first got in the league. Now, it feels though I know these kids. It feels like I grew up with a lot of them. You know? So it's like, you know, it's more diverse, especially in the locker rooms.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. I will say that for now until the sweepstakes present a different story, a different narrative, but right now, he's still in Tampa Bay. Casey Kurtz pushing all the right buttons. Brent Martineau right now on assignment, literally in the hallway, doing a live shoot real quick. Action Sports Jackson, ESPN 690. I'm Austin Lane, and now we are joined someone to really talk some Byron Leftwich with me. She's not related to me, but she has an invite to the Lane family reunion in Chicago whenever she wants it. ESPN, Jenna Lane, how we doing today?
Oh my gosh, you beat me to it. I was actually going to say no relation because anytime I talk to another Lane, I mean, I'm even talking when Jaworski Lane was a member of the Buccaneers, I would always have to tell people, no relation.
And unfortunately, you do spell your name a little different. I think you have an I in that last name. I'm just Lane, but we are Lanes nonetheless. And like I said, Jenna, anytime you want to come eat some barbecue, maybe do like a 3-legged race or whatever you want like that, come to Chicago, and we'll take great care of you at the Lane family reunion.
I would love that. I love Chicago. I'm so down for that.
No said. So obviously, you know, you cover the Tampa Bay Buccaneers extensively here. And I mean, before we get into Byron Leftwich, just what's the vibe right now in Tampa Bay? Obviously, a heartbreaking loss. Is Tom Brady coming back? The Antonio Brown saga. What is the vibe right now in Tampa?
I'm not going to lie, Bucs fans are kind of going through an existential crisis right now because they just don't know what's going to happen because obviously Tom Brady, he is under contract for next year, but the talk about retirement is very real. And he said there's no timetable on it. And Bruce Arians said, look, there's not really a timetable on when we're going to have these discussions. He's going to take all the time he needs. Same thing with Rob Gronkowski. He said he's going to need about 3 to 5 weeks to kind of figure things out for himself. But, we actually told TMZ this morning that if he were forced to decide today, he would lean towards no. So because everything's just happened so fast, I think for Bucs fans, some of them, when they don't know Tom as well as maybe the folks in New England did, for them it happened very abruptly. The retirement talk started picking up steam at the very end of the season, really in the last week or two. So it kind of caught them off guard. A lot of them thought that maybe Brady would need like this farewell tour. And Tom said on Monday on his podcast with Jim Gray, he said, no, I wouldn't want that. That would be distracting. I know for me as well, one of the things that kind of caught me by surprise, because I knew how much family was going to play a big role in the decision, and it certainly will. Happy life, happy wife. I think it's actually happy wife, happy life, right? We got to get our priorities in line. And Tom talked about how much he loved having waffles with his kids on Monday, but I was always under the impression Tom would need to go out as a winner to walk away happy and satisfied. But he made it a point of saying on his podcast, no, he wouldn't. And it's hard for me to picture this guy who has this penchant for throwing iPads on the sidelines when he throws interceptions, and twice he hasn't shaken Nick Foles' hand, and he just seems like a terrible loser. I mean, he would barely last 2 minutes in post-game availability with us media members if it was a loss. It was hard for me to imagine him leaving it all or being prepared to leave it all if he did so on a loss. But again, that just shows us how little we really know about the guy. So it's been interesting. And I also got to say, too, with all this uncertainty, it's not just limited to the players. There are very real concerns about losing both of their powerhouse coordinators in Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles. And my mom sends me a text message this morning. It's the first thing I see. It's, don't tell me Byron's leaving. No.
Well, hey, Jenna Lane, Brent Martineau here, Austin Lane. Jenna Lane from ESPN covers the Bucs. Tell us Byron's leaving, right? I mean, are you anticipating that? Is everybody in Tampa anticipating what we all are anticipating in the next, whether it's a couple of hours, couple of minutes, or maybe days, that Byron Leftwich will be the next head coach of the Jaguars?
I don't know anything about a deal getting done, but I was told yesterday afternoon that he was the favorite. But obviously, there's still pen has to hit paper, and of course, a lot of things have to transpire. And but I answered one fan's question on Twitter saying, "Hey, folks need to prepare themselves because this guy's a commodity. Very clearly, he's had multiple interviews." And I know he certainly has had glowing endorsements from Bruce Arians and Tom Brady himself. That definitely carries a lot of weight. So, and Bruce has already gone through these scenarios of losing one or even both of them. And what really caught my attention Monday was I asked him, well, what are you going to do about play calling duties? And he said that there's a good chance that he would take back play calling duties if Byron leaves, which I think really goes to show you how much he trusted Byron. That a big kind of caveat for him, a big point of emphasis for him coming out of retirement was that he wasn't going to handle play calling duties, that he needed to kind of pass that torch, and that he trusted Byron so much to do that. And the fact that if Byron leaves, he doesn't feel like he has anybody else that could take that over. I mean, that just really shows you how much he believes in this guy and trusts this guy.
Jenna, when we talk about Byron Leftwich, I mean, obviously I'm excited because we might see a screen pass for the first time since 2010 here in Jacksonville because the guy he knows how to run those. But more importantly, what type of coach are we getting here if he does indeed become the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars? Like, I hear all the time player, coach, but also a little bit of old school. What have you heard from players? What have you seen with your own eyes of what type of coach is Byron Leftwich?
Well, I think his greatest strength is his ability to relate to players. And his lack of rigidity and adaptability really stood out when he was merging Bruce Arians' offense with the likes and dislikes of Tom Brady. He used that experience as well with Tom to just soak up as much as he could. And in the process, we saw Arians' no risk it, no biscuit offense all of a sudden have these quick passing concepts. And at times, Brady was dinking and dunking his way down the field as he did so well in New England. And you could just kind of see, wow, like I remember he did that in New England. I give Byron so much credit because, I think with older coaches, they're so rigid in the way that they do things, but Byron was really adaptable with that. And it was very important for him to put Tom in a position to succeed and to make him feel really comfortable. And I think he did that. And, I got to say, too, from a pure play calling standpoint, the growth that we saw from him, and I'll preface it with there's no way on earth I could do any of that. I could never make these split-second decisions. But, I remember in year one, he was with Jameis Winston. There were times where I was like, I don't know why he ran the ball 4 consecutive times. I thought that would have been a perfect time to incorporate some play actions that you would kind of lull the defense to sleep. But then it's like by year 3, there were, if any, instances where I took issue with any of the things that he called. And, of course, Tom has a lot to do with that, too. But I really think he took this opportunity to soak up as much as he could from Tom. And I would also say this. He comes from the Bruce Arians school of quarterbacking, which is you need to give your quarterback a lot of say in the game planning because he's got to be the one that's most comfortable. And I know with Urban Meyer, he was very rigid and he was, I hate to use the word dictator, but that's the one thing I've heard a lot of. With Byron, he is going to spend a lot of time asking Trevor, what do you like and don't like? He's going to spend a lot of time listening. I know for Jameis Winston, it was a little bit hard at first because Byron's like, I need to know what you do and don't like. Don't just nod your head with everything. Tell me if you don't like something. Like that's really, really, really important to him.
Jenna Lane with us here on ESPN 690. Jenna covers the Tampa Bay Bucks and has covered Byron Leftwich the last couple of years for ESPN over there in Tampa. Jenna, there's a lot to like about Byron Leftwich, like you just said, from Trevor Lawrence to the play calling, I think, to the players liking him. I think he did a terrific job when with Leonard Fournette, and when Leonard Fournette and others went out there on like their 4th running back and they lose Godwin and they lose Antonio Brown, and like those other guys were well coached and good enough to go play that playoff game and perform. I liked what he did with the depth, and not just him. I know the entire coaching staff. So I think there's a lot to like. How much do you think he is in terms of candidates, like a hot candidate? Not just right now, but for the next few years, because Austin and I were just debating this a little bit. And one of the issues we have in Jacksonville is that Trent Baalke may stay around and he might have to be put in a situation with Baalke. So we're wondering where the leverage is for Byron to determine his staff and the setup here. How much do you think he's going to be a candidate, not just now, but for the foreseeable future in the NFL as a head coach?
I think he's working with Brady certainly a long time, but I think that kind of raises a good question because he hasn't worked with a ton of quarterbacks. Obviously, he has a ton of experience as a player, and all of his time as a backup with Bruce Arians really groomed him to be a coach. You could definitely see that, but the quarterbacks that he's worked with, he has worked with Josh Rosen. He has worked with Jameis Winston. He's worked with Tom Brady. Those are all really, really, really different guys. And obviously he's going to have a ton of success and continue to get opportunities if he continues to work with Tom. But what about after that? So I think that raises some kind of interesting questions as far as how hot of a candidate I think would he continue to be. But I do know that, look, it's no secret the NFL has a huge issue right now with lack of minority coaches. And the fact that he is an offensive coach and a former quarterback just bodes so well for him. Not that he wouldn't get these opportunities if he wasn't, but I'll give you an example. I was at the Colts game this year when the Bucs played the Colts, and I had a member of the Colts coaching staff, a friend of mine from college, pointed to me and said, that's the guy that we're hoping will be the next Byron Leftwich. And he himself is a minority too, and as well as my friend that I was talking to. There's a lot of coaches that are out there that are looking to him, that are pulling for him, that are looking at him as kind of an example. So I think the interest is certainly going to be there for a long, long time.
Jenna, when we talk about, Byron Leftwich, obviously if he does come to Jacksonville, one could wonder, does he bring coaches with him from Tampa Bay or even players for that matter? I mean, a guy that sticks out to us here because we need wide receivers desperately is Chris Godwin. Now, a guy that has tore his ACL, probably the price tag of Chris Godwin being a free agent comes down drastically. But what is Tampa Bay, where are they at right now with Chris Godwin going forward? Do you think they offer him a new deal? I mean, do they tag him again? What's the consensus right now for Chris Godwin?
Man, Chris Godwin is so loved and cherished by Tampa Bay. I don't think they let him out of the building. Maybe he doesn't get the same deal he would have gotten pre-injury, but I mean, that guy is not just as dependable as ever, but I remember talking to that guy pre-draft before he was selected by the Buccaneers. I guess I got lucky in that situation. Him and Curtis Samuel were my two favorites from that class. And I just kept thinking to myself, am I talking to a 40-year-old man here with like a wife and kids and who just has like this wonderful perspective and seems to just have life figured out? Or am I talking to a 20-year-old guy? Because I really couldn't tell. I mean, he's just as mature and is just steady and dependable as it comes. And they're wonderful people, too. They're wonderful people at that. So they do a ton of charitable work here. I just have a hard time envisioning him leaving. And I'll tell you what, if Tom comes back, he is certainly going to want Chris back. But if I could just add a little more about Byron, because I wrote a lot of notes down because it's like, you know, when you have certain coaches that you really like, you want to make sure you do them justice. And, you know, one of the things that I always kind of joked with him about was, I don't think the guy sleeps very much. He takes the job pretty seriously. I know a lot of these coaches don't, but, you know, he's a guy that, you know, he'll sometimes run laps while everybody's getting warmed up at practice. And at first I'm like, what is this guy, crazy? Like, is he out of his mind? And you could tell he's probably on that TB12 plan because he's really slimmed down. But then I realized in the postseason last year, I go, you're doing this to stay awake, aren't you? And he's like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. So then it became this running joke with us every week. How well are you sleeping? How well are you sleeping? How well are you sleeping? So the guy's a real tenacious worker, and he's a real joy to be around. He's not always going to give you every answer, like in the press conferences, like from a media standpoint. But he just flashes that smile and just can really light up a room. And he's not afraid to correct you if maybe you see something and he doesn't see it that same way, which I appreciate. I don't always want the canned answers. Sometimes he'll give you those, and I think maybe the more comfortable he gets, he'll kind of get away from those a little bit. But, you know, and then the one concern I had, and so I actually asked the members of the coaching staff about this, is, you know, when you have a coach like Bruce Arians, who is just so hard-nosed, like he gets out of that golf cart and you're like, oh boy, like something's going on. How well is he able to keep people accountable? And I reached out to some members of the coaching staff and I heard that he does a really good job of it. Because I know discipline is something that is talked about in Jacksonville. And he's able to discipline guys, whether it be publicly or privately, depending on kind of what the situation calls for. And, you know, I think that's big. That's usually one of my concerns when it's some of these younger coaches who maybe don't have the kind of that CEO experience or don't have a lot of experience being somebody's boss. But I'm told he's handled it well.
Jenna, I'm glad you gave us those nuggets about Byron Leftwich. We almost hung up with you after you said Chris Godwin might stay in Tampa.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm sorry. You know, there's a lot of people that love Godwin in Tampa, and I got to say too, this organization, they really love him, and for them, their priorities are re-signing their own. So I would expect him to be the guy they try to get done. I mean, he played under the franchise tag last year, but that's not to say that, you know, they couldn't strike up a deal this year. I know Tampa's where he wants to be, and obviously Penn has to hit paper, but I would be very surprised if he went elsewhere.
Jenna Lane with us. We're going to let you go here in a moment. Let me ask you, this one might be tricky. Todd Bowles is interviewing for jobs. He interviewed with the Jags. I think he's interviewing with the Raiders maybe today. I think he flew out there. How close is their relationship? Is there any way a guy like Byron could lure him away to be the defensive coordinator if he doesn't get a head coaching job? Or are you convinced he'll stay in Tampa? I'm just not sure how close the relationship. The only thing I have to go off is from the broadcast when I think that Bowles gave Leftwich some advice leading into his interview. That's why I asked the question.
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't know anybody in Tampa that's on the staff that doesn't love Coach Bowles, including myself, even though I'm not on the staff. That's a guy I'd run through a brick wall for in a heartbeat. And I know the players feel that same way. But I'd have to look at his contract situation. But I could imagine he probably wouldn't be able to take him with him. But that is an interesting question. And Arians, of course, is preparing for the possibility of life without him, too, because of the fact that there are so many head coach openings right now. And Bowles has garnered interest from, is it 3 teams? Is it 4 teams now?
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep track of all. So, and you know, look, the feeling in Tampa is that, you know, they felt like this was a bonus year with Bowles. And I know some folks took issue with him calling cover 0 on that final play. But that same aggression also netted them, you know, they got 4 turnovers and allowed them to come back into the game. Let's not forget that. That's just who he is. But a lot of folks felt like, it was a bonus year, the fact that they got Bowles back for a second year because of the job he did with this defense this past year. Because what they were starting off with wasn't necessarily great. They had a long way they had to go for sure. They had so much youth and inexperience on that back end, and he's really helped those guys grow a lot.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, they had a ton of injuries in the back end there early on as well. Jenna Lane, always appreciate your insight, and we'll see what happens here over the next day or so with Byron Leftwich, and hopefully we'll chat again soon. Thanks for the time.
And thank you.
That's Jenna Lane, covers the Bucs for ESPN. Has joined us here on the show before, and we appreciate her taking the time. Some good insight on Byron Leftwich, the Brady situation at the top of that conversation. I kind of jumped in late. Did you mention anything about Trask or Gabbert, if that would be in their future, or would they go elsewhere? Because I think the story out of the Tampa is that they would go try to get a free agent quarterback.
I mean, I think, if you're Bruce Arians, just stick around. I know you love Blaine Gabbert because he's followed you everywhere you've been, but I think they go in a different direction than Blaine Gabbert to be your starting quarterback. As far as defensive coordinator is concerned, hey, maybe he goes after Jack Del Rio. Maybe he coaxes Jack Del Rio back to Jacksonville.
Listen, this is part of the reason I've said this, that I think there are a lot of reasons to like the offensive coach. That's why Eberflus doesn't make sense to me, because now you have to go hit a home run on the OC with Trevor, right? And almost become like a second coach to Trevor in the offense and bring him along. Not say Eberflus can't impact that guy, but that's not how you view it, right? And so I think this is way better formula and at least a smarter way to go for the Jags if they get the offensive guy, because now that guy is linked to Trevor, but you have defensive options. I'm not saying Jackson option, but from Mike Zimmer to Fangio to whoever. I think there are better options out there on the defensive side. Heck, they're keeping Joe Cullen. That's a better option than probably keeping a Darrell Bevel or keeping a Schottenheimer, I think, at this point here in Jacksonville. So, she brought up something that is interesting, and I want to get your thoughts on it. Byron Leftwich gets hired by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He, at least currently, would be only the second black head coach in the NFL.
Correct.
He would be the first in Jags history. I know Mel Tucker was an interim for a couple of games. What's the significance of that for Byron Leftwich, and is there a responsibility that goes along with that? I'd like to talk about that and get your thoughts on it as a player who played in the NFL. We'll get back to that. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 rolls on. A lot of Byron Leftwich talk here on a Wednesday.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Lingering light rain and drizzle will be ending. Mostly cloudy, breezy, and chilly today with highs only in the mid-50s. Becoming partly cloudy tonight. We'll drop into the mid-40s. And partly cloudy tomorrow. We will manage to get to near 60 degrees in the afternoon. I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard, aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7. And we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Tobacco-Free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. Never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up.
Or maybe Maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Start your new year in a like-new car from the pre-owned experts at Arlington Toyota. Arlington Pre-Owned has over 300 used available. All makes, all models. Some even same model year. You've got to see it. And when it comes to buying with confidence, just leave it to my friends at Arlington. Their 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it. Add some major excitement to your new year and an amazing new ride from Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. In person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Florida children are eligible for head-to-toe coverage through the Florida Kid Care Program, which is high-quality, affordable health and dental coverage with cost as low as $15 a month. To assist families applying for Florida Kid Care or Medicaid and increase enrollment in the Florida Kid Care Program, the Players Center for Child Health with Wolfson Children's Hospital offers free application assistance. For appointments, call 904-202-WELL. That's 904-202-9355. Habla Español.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Every year you go to training camp, and the one unique thing about our job is it's entirely different than your summer. And I don't know if it was a year earlier, maybe, depending on when Drew retired. Look, he and I never discussed when his last game would be or when I'd be finished. I just felt like this season it was challenging for everyone, but man, I felt like it was time. I felt like it was time. You know, I kind of knew maybe heading into training camp this might, but you don't share that with anyone. You think, well, let's see how the season goes, and we're working hard, and I felt the time was right for me. I felt the time was right, and it's something that I've been thinking about.
That's Sean Payton. I don't know how you don't think about that stuff. I appreciate Sean Payton. What is he, 52? Did I hear that right? Is something like that? Still a young guy.
Yeah.
And I think somebody said, I think they referenced Jimmy Johnson. There was somebody else. Jimmy Johnson was in the mix. Like he was about that age and never came back.
So Sean Payton's 58.
Oh, I'm sorry, 58. Okay. So 58 looks pretty good for 58. Not that 58 looks bad, but that treadmill must be working.
Killing it, man.
In the facility. Mm-hmm. But Jimmy Johnson, I think, retired around then. A couple others as well, and never came back to it. So if you think he's going to come back to it, 58's young, right?
Yeah.
And you could. Will he miss it? He could. He could. But he's going to have a chance to do TV. He'll be on the Manning cast. He'll There's so many options for those guys.
Mm-hmm. You seen those next Dallas Cowboy coaching odds?
What is it?
He's a favorite.
Is he? I tell you what, though, I wonder if people have learned from. I wonder if people have learned a little bit from Urban in those kind of situations, even though that was in the college game of like just leaving and going, somewhere else. There's not many instances of that. Like people who go to somewhere else are usually forced out. They don't go on their own volition.
Well,
and so Sean Payton doing that, even if he steps down for a year or two and then goes to the Cowboys, that's not going to be viewed very fondly in New Orleans. And I think his heartbeat is in New Orleans. I don't think it cares about Dallas.
Yeah, but I also think Jerry Jones could throw
the bank at him,
the book at him, and just be like, "Hey, name a price. Let's go."
Yeah, that'd be tough to
Mike,
turn
we'll
down.
see you later.
Yeah, well, he could.
We're
do
all
that.
set, Mike. Thank you.
He could do that.
Thank you for your service, Mike. It's been fun.
One other thing, by the way, the Urban Meyer tale has been told across the NFL. You know why? I said this to you yesterday in the break, but there are no college coaches being rumored in these 9 jobs. Now, Jim Harbaugh is, but that's a different animal, right? I mean, he had been in the NFL before. I'm talking about there's no Ryan Day. There's no Dabo Swinney. There's no Lincoln Riley. Like, that isn't even floated. Now, some of that is Lincoln Riley's got himself a pretty damn good spot now, but Ryan Day's hasn't changed. And Ryan Day was floated a bit last year, I think, in connection with that Chicago job. Was that just agent talk to try to get more money? Maybe, but none of that. Dabo, I don't know if he'll always be in that conversation or not. But point being, or even what's his name, Matt Campbell, who has turned that down a couple of times, but everybody goes back to the well if you really want a guy, and he could have been in play maybe for Chicago, not too far away. So I think that is a cautionary tale of what just transpired in Jacksonville with Urban Meyer, and nobody's touching it this year. They might touch it in the next cycle, but they're not touching it this year.
Yeah, they're not touching it this year. Like, I don't think there was a lot of candidates, though, because you got the sense that Riley was content of,
Well, he's getting private jets all around the country, and he's getting $12 million a year or whatever.
Yeah,
Riley, I understand. But again, Ryan Day was a pretty hot name, I think.
I guess. Yeah, to me, like, with all due respect to Ryan Day, like, he didn't do that much to me in terms of hype. Yeah.
But some people said at the time of Urban Meyer that should have hired Ryan Day instead of Urban Meyer.
Yeah, sure.
Better NFL fit. Well, that turned out it should have
worked out. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I just don't know if the whole Kingsbury thing came out of thin air. Like, nobody saw that coming. So, like, he didn't even have hype because we didn't even talk about Kingsbury. I mean, I think Matt Rule, you could get the sense that eventually his time would come. Just what he was able to do at Baylor, at Temple. I mean, his time was coming. I just don't think we talked about Ryan Day this year. Like I said, Riley had his own thing going on, but I don't think we talked about those guys in the same capacity as we talked about like a Matt Rule a couple years ago.
Yeah, I just thought about it. I just think people, it's a very trendy business. To your point earlier, right? This could be the only time for Leftwich because they might not succeed as well, which I think is stupid. Like, I think it's as dumb that Daboll took until the playoffs to get cooking. If he was a good enough coach last year, good enough candidate, we continue to see the progression of Josh Allen. That's really what he's being judged on. And he's not in the mix because they're not scoring 45 a game, right? I think Leftwich, if he's a good enough candidate right now and his resume is what it is, I don't really think anything should deter that, unless it's some scandalous thing, from him being a candidate down the road. I mean, he's probably better coach in 3 years than he is even right now.
Sure.
So it's a lot like this mentality of like, oh, Eberflus, can't hire him. See what the Jags did to him in the last game? All right, well, you're being judged on 4 years, not one game. So it's in that kind of same breath.
But you're still being judged on a season, though.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, I get it. A season, not necessarily.
But like I'm saying, so with Daboll, I mean, it was the totality of the season up until like the last couple games of their season so far. I mean, then they got bounced out. But like, I just think that how you do in that season is gonna dictate whether or not you're gonna get that call or not, or at least a lot of calls from NFL circles. Just like I think if Byron Leftwich was to stay in Tampa and wait it out, and you lose Tom Brady, I think you run the risk of maybe not getting as many phone calls as you think, just because that season may not go the way you think it's going to go.
I guess this is more soapboxy. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I understand that's the trend. I'm just saying I'm not sure it should be. If the guy's a good enough coach in this cycle, why wouldn't he be a good enough coach in 2 or 3 years when he's got even more experience under his belt?
Sure.
Even if he didn't have the same amount of success. I think that's a silly way to look at it. It's a very small window, narrow-minded way to look at it.
But that's what the NFL is, though.
I know.
Is that you fall in love with success.
Well,
and
that's
just
all
the way
because
it
of the
is.
fans, by the way. That's
Okay.
got very little to do with who I think is the best. That's all the fans help drive that narrative. Because if you go pick up a guy that is 500, right? Like that's what. Well, this is a shocker about the Kingsbury move, because guy didn't even have a winning record in college.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So you go pick up that guy, and people are like, "Why the hell is he coming here? What has he done?"
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So, like, I think that is. I should say it's only driven by fans. I think it's a heavy driven by the fans.
Well, but it can be driven by performance. Like look at Wink Martin. Wink Martindale.
Yeah, no, it's still surprising firing
like
to me.
That wasn't fans. That was organization.
Yeah.
That was Harbaugh. You know, that was, I guess, performance on the field.
They obviously saw that trending in a bad way.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, this is a guy who I think he had a couple, there was rumors that eventually he could be the next head coaching candidate. And, the fans didn't want him gone. That was the organization for whatever reason. Now, we don't know the whole story, but, he's gone.
Why? You think they'd be interested in Joe Cullen if he comes free?
As a defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Why not?
Or did they want a different style, though, I guess is my guess. Because that'd be
maybe.
Same style.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's I have no idea what happened with McMartindale. No idea.
Yeah, but
yeah,
a lot of success over the years.
I think Joe deserves looks, yeah.
Yeah. Let's get Steven on the line real quick, and then I got an important question to ask about Byron Leftwich. What's up, man?
Hey, not too much. How you guys doing today?
We're good.
Groovy, man.
I just want to get your opinion on a lot of these tweets out there saying they're still trying to finalize or work out some details. You think there might be getting pushback from Bulky because he might not be somebody he was trying to push? Maybe on a power struggle, if you will?
I appreciate the call, Steven. Listen, maybe there's some naivete in me. I don't think Bulky holds any power here. I'm not. It's one thing to say, listen, you know me. I don't believe he's here. Because I think it defies logic, and I think it opens shot up for a hell of a lot of criticism. I think it's a bad move, and I can't find a good move, and so I've been convinced. But as this goes further and further along, I will readily admit that there's a decent chance that he stays there based on the way the tea leaves are falling. I can't deny that. I will say this, though. I don't believe that he is carrying a lot of weight in the interviews. I think he's part of the process, but there's a huge difference, as we've debated a little bit and discussed, that between asking questions that have been planned questions, what you want to find out from a candidate, and then judging that candidate and ultimately making a determining factor. I don't see this as a 3-vote process. What does Shad think? What does Trent think? What does Tony Khan think? I see this as a 1-vote process. What does Shad Khan think? After he gathers all the information. I don't know if you agree or not, but I would say I don't think he's the heavy in any of what is potentially going on, to answer Steven's question.
No, I mean, I've said how I feel about it. I think in terms of the football questions, in terms of the football knowledge in these meetings, it's ran by Trent Baalke, because Shad Khan doesn't really, know the game to the extent as Trent Baalke does, and I don't think neither does Tony Khan. So I think that you have a situation where your owner, whether or not you have your faith in Trent Baalke, you're still relying on his input, you're relying on his questions, and you're relying on the betting process that he's bringing to the table. I think if he wasn't, then Bill O'Brien wouldn't even get a job in the first, wouldn't get even an interview. Because I think if I'm Shad Khan and Trent Baalke comes, hey, I think we should interview Bill O'Brien. And if you're Shad Khan and you're calling the shots, I would say, well, no, because nobody else is doing that. Okay, and there's probably for a good reason why. Now, has Bill O'Brien had any more head coaching interviews?
No.
For a good reason why, right? Because he's not quite ready to go back to that whole scene again. So I do think Baalke does bring, a little bit of say, a little bit of what goes on in these meetings.
I hope not. Maybe it's more hope than reality.
Sure.
I have this question for you. Diversity is a massive issue in the NFL right now. Byron Leftwich could be, if he's named the Jags head coach, at least for the time being, the only one of 2 black coaches in the NFL. Mike Tomlin right now is alone. Now, we have several black coaches that are in the hiring process, from Flores to Caldwell to Bieniemy.
Yep.
Right? And even Jerron Mayo as well. And I don't think I'm missing anyone else at the moment that I've seen interviewed.
maybe Glenn from
Aaron Glenn.
Detroit.
That's right, because of the Saints opening.
Correct.
Would become and make some history here in Jacksonville as the first black head coach. Now, again, this is couched a little bit. Mel Tucker, I know, was an interim coach taking over for Jack Del Rio when you played.
Yep.
The significance and responsibility of that for Byron Leftwich being the first black head coach in Jacksonville and one of only two, at least potentially at the moment, in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I think the significance from the city, I think it definitely means something. It's 2022, and the fact that there's only one black coach right now, and obviously Ron Rivera being a minority himself, that we cannot forget either. So, I think you only have two minorities, if I'm not mistaken, in the NFL right now. Yeah, I mean, that's not how it should be. I think there are better candidates out there, and like white, black, whatever. I think there's better candidates out there that do have darker skin that should get an opportunity. Simple as that. So, yeah, I think if Byron Leftwich gets an opportunity here in Jacksonville, I think he is capable. I think he can turn this thing around, and I think that it should be celebrated. Absolutely. It's a step. It's a spoke on the wheel of progress, and that's what you want to see.
By the way, Robert Saleh, also a minority now in New York Jets. Thanks. Appreciate that, Christian.
Completely forgot about him.
And so I think it's an interesting topic. I've heard Byron Leftwich talk about this topic, and I thought he said it in an interesting way. He's like, that's not a question for me, and I wonder if he'll answer this way if he is named the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars and asked about it. But he says, it's not a question for me. It's a question for the owners in the NFL. I've always viewed this as from a Jacksonville-centric topic. Jags have the only minority owner in the NFL, right? And my belief is Shad Khan is going to hire man, woman, white, black, anyone to get this thing going, right? So I don't think it has to, in terms of the hire, has to do with color, race, gender, anything. I think he thinks Byron Leftwich is the best fit for the job and the best man to do the job. But I do think there is some significance around it. I think it's significant in Jacksonville. I think it would be significant for a lot of young men in Jacksonville. I think a lot of aspiring coaches and players in Jacksonville. And I do think as a domino effect, it's significant in the NFL because it will be talked about in the NFL. And it is a problem in the NFL. It's an issue that's being discussed in the NFL. So I don't think Byron Leftwich is asking for this to be a responsibility, but fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you want to view it, it'll be a responsibility of some type for Byron Leftwich. And I agree a little bit with what Jenna Lane said. I think there are a lot of people rooting for him to succeed for more reasons than that, but maybe part of the equation. And I also think maybe it does that. Again, I think it's more about the man who Leftwich is that allows him to build a heck of a staff. But I think there are a lot of people who want to see Byron Leftwich succeed and be, let's just say, like the next Mike Tomlin, here for 15 years, 20 years in an organization, winning Super Bowls, and paving the way for others for this discussion not even to take place in the next handful of years, No,
absolutely. I think from the organizational standpoint, from the city, I think it's great for the city. I really do. Having a minority owner is one thing. Having a black head coach is another thing. So that's great. I think from the locker room, I think it's huge, and not so much like it's a black head coach. Like, I played for a plethora of coaches, of all colors. But I think it's big because more today than maybe any other point in history of the National Football League, you have to be able to relate to your players. And despite my laid-back demeanor and my chill attitude, there was coaches that I clashed with, and the coaches that I clashed with, they all had one thing in common. They looked nothing like me. They talked nothing like me. They were older, and they were not willing to relate to what I believed. And that was an issue. Say what you want about it.
Or at least acknowledge.
Acknowledge it, I think with Byron Leftwich, and I don't know him personally, I never shared a locker room with Byron Leftwich, but he has been in NFL locker rooms before. And I think, being in a couple of different environments, whether it's Pittsburgh, Arizona, or Tampa Bay, and then obviously being a black head coach and being the leader being the general if he indeed does take this job. I think that is going to work wonders on a team that is in dire need of leadership, that is in dire need of, I think, players in the locker room just saying, hey, do you have my back or not? Because we can point to so many times last year, whether it was James Robinson, whether it was Marvin Jones, where I feel like a lot of these players in the locker room felt like nobody had their back. And that's a horrible spot to be in. I was in that point from a position coach standpoint, but I was never in that point from an overall leadership standpoint of your head coach. I can't imagine how you can even function like that if that's how your head coach is going to act. And I believe that's what Urban Meyer brought to the table. So you have to reboot that entire process, that whole thinking process that, hey, the new guy coming in, he's got your back. Like, yeah, it's probably going to be still hard. It's going to be tough nose because I think he does bring an old school demeanor to him. He's an old football player, man. He's going to have a little bit of that toughness to him. You got to learn to suck it up. So be it. That's great. But I also think he's going to bring the fact of, hey, I can relate to you a little bit. Maybe, I look like you a little more and things like that. I think that's going to go a long way in terms of building a culture, getting free agents in here, and just turning this whole thing around.
Yeah, I think it's significant. I think to your point, and maybe even more so since you played, although I don't want to say that because I don't know that. I didn't live that. Yeah. But I just think coming off the last couple of years with Black Lives Matter and everything being on that issue, especially brought out into the forefront and being discussed, I think players are in tune with that conversation maybe more than they have been more recently. Yeah. Not ever before, but more recently. And so I wonder about the locker room if there is like a subconscious to it.
Yeah.
At the very least, that Byron Leftwich is the leader of the football team. And I don't know that. I have no idea. We'd have to see how that reaction is, or maybe it's not a big thing. But I do think there is a level of responsibility that will come with that for Byron Leftwich. And again, I don't think he invites that. I don't think he asks for that. Unfortunately, it's kind of the part of the load the shoulders have to bear if you're a minority head coach in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like I said before, hopefully that's not part of the discussion in the next few years. And I did leave Todd Bowles, by the way, as another
candidate
in the coaching cycle. So we'll see. We'll see what if that happens and the impact that it happens. I sincerely do believe, and I think it'll be something to watch. I think it'll be a sincere impact on the community and the football community, from the young kids to high school coaches and alike. I might be reading that wrong, but I think it is pretty significant here in Jacksonville. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 rolls on as we continue the head coaching search for the Jacksonville Jaguars, maybe for just a couple more moments.
Here's to a new you in 2022. Cora Physical Therapy has opened 2 new state-of-the-art clinics in Kingsland and Brunswick. That means you have 17 clinics to choose from in the Jacksonville region. At Cora, you get access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. We do getting better, and faster. Call today for a free screening. Same-day appointments available. This new year, start to feel like the old you again. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
Well, the holidays are behind us, and that means nothing but open road ahead. So make every mile this new year the best it can be in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota's got 500 new Toyotas available and ready for wherever you want to go in 2022. Plus, every new car purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty and Arlington's 30-day exchange program. Where will your new Toyota take you in 2022? Find out and shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for 2 at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
If you're experiencing domestic violence, it is not your fault. Hubbard House is here for you. You are not alone. Hubbard House provides free services and emergency shelter to survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties. Call 904-354-3114 anytime, 24/7 to confidentially speak to a caring advocate.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
Remember how 15 years ago I switched to Progressive? Well, I used all those savings to buy that golf club that swings for you. But now everyone who plays golf is really good because, the club swings for you in the future, which is now.
So switch to Progressive and save big because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? With nights getting longer, it might be time to refresh your headlights. You'll see better and drive safer. Why not try Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs? They have the furthest down road light, and right now you can get a $10 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy 2. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or free next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
2022 deals have arrived at your First Coast Acura dealers. Don't wait. Reserve your on-order Acura today. Plus, your current vehicle has never been worth more, and we'll pay top dollar for your trade. FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com.
Hey, boss. Did you hear the latest about the ding-dong doorbell cameras?
Whoa. First of all, let me just say that as a crook, I'm a big fan of the ding-dong doorbell cameras.
Me too. It means no safe touch security.
Exactly. So what happened with our old buddies at Triple D?
So the ding-dong doorbell cameras rely on the internet, right? Well, the parent company just had their 3rd outage in a month.
Doesn't that make the ding-dong doorbell camera useless or something?
Not just that. All kinds of apps in people's houses went haywire, websites were down. People are fed up.
It's one thing after another with that company. Spying on customers, selling personal information, sharing people's internet. Now this?
It's a head-scratcher, boss. If folks had safe-touch security, they wouldn't have to worry about any of that.
Which is another reason we have the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from safe-touch houses. Like Superman's kryptonite.
Receive free equipment and free installation with monitoring agreement. Terms and conditions apply. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment on Action Sports Jax, Hockey Talk, where Brett Martineau guesses a random hockey soundbite. Now here's your host, Casey Kurtz.
Yeah, we didn't forget. We had it up yesterday. We ran out of time.
Yesterday. What's today? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday. We usually a Tuesday thing. I didn't forget. We're doing it on a Wednesday.
Hey, I mean, I've been tied up. Thanks to Dilla. Been tied up. Haven't been watching NHL.
Yeah, that's the problem. I haven't been tied up either. I've been playing FIFA, but we got the sound for you, Brent. How are you feeling on your chances? Now,
Is
keep
it
in
from
mind,
last night?
No, it is not. It's from a couple days ago.
I dialed in hockey last night.
Yeah, the good old teams were out there on the ice. But listen, Brent, here's your sound. Feel free to talk it out. The clues we'll give you are none of them. Here we go.
What sort of text message do you think you'll get after getting 5 points against the team your dad works for?
I'm not sure. I'm sure he would have. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting words in his mouth. I'm not going to say it, what I was about to say, but he probably wanted it to be an OT game, but for us to play well. I don't know who he wanted to win the OT game, but no, he doesn't matter what team he works for, but he's obviously one of my brother's biggest fan and great mentor, and obviously not only him, but obviously my line mates and teammates know how much I want to win against those guys. Team, the hometown team, a lot of people watching. It's same. We got a lot of guys in Toronto. It's like when we go to Toronto, you want to win that game for the guys that are from there. Tons of people watching. So I don't know exactly what he'll text me. Maybe he went to bed early and I won't even get a text. I don't know.
This is a couple weeks old, right? No?
That's from whatever day I cut it. So Monday night, I want to say.
Uh-oh.
Chris Kreider.
No. So it was a story on the ESPNs. Said player did have 5 points. 5
Kachuk.
Holy crap.
Keith Kachuk? Not Keith Kachuk, but you get it right?
Yes.
Dang it.
How'd you get that so fast?
Because he Googled it.
No, I didn't Google it.
Boring.
Oh, I did. I don't. I was just looking down the scores and I saw 7-1.
See, I thought for a second in
You
my
got to have
mind,
somebody for 5 points. It stands out.
That's true.
For a second in my mind, I was going to Joseph Pavelski, who scored 5 points I think 2 weeks ago. But the reason I know about him is because he's from my neighboring town. So I thought you were trying to bring a Wisconsin.
Oh, that'd have been nice.
Hometown element to the party. But
No, sir.
But you probably didn't know that.
Nope. Went on Twitter, saw Matt Tkachuk had 5 points and said, you know what? That's going to be a good sound.
Nicely done.
Is Dad Keith?
Maybe.
Oh, you don't know?
No, I don't.
What do I think Keith Kachuk?
Keith Kachuk played for, I think, the Coyotes, right?
Did you say this
Stars?
was against his St. Louis?
How do you spell Kachuk?
It starts with a T.
K-A-C-H-U-K.
There he is, Keith Kachuk.
And by the way, Matt here did this with 5 assists, no goals.
Correct.
Keith Kachuk.
Yes, it's his dad.
Yeah, is Keith Kachuk?
Mm-hmm.
And he played for the Coyotes.
Sure.
He played for the Blues, too,
The
right?
Blues.
Yep. Blues,
the Jets.
Coyote. Yep. Okay, you have it up too. Yep.
No, I'm.
Oh, you're just.
Yeah, dude.
You're going off the top.
I wanted a Keith Kachuk jersey back in the day. He
It's
was
a
like
bonus.
the
I can
dude.
see him in the Blues. I don't remember him in the other word, but I can see
one
his
more team. Anybody can
uniform
pick it
in the
up?
Blues. Who did we say?
You said the Jets. You said the Coyotes. You said the Blues. One more.
I mean, he played football.
Why am I thinking Flyer?
No. It is a team. Well, I can't really tell you.
Yeah,
that.
don't.
All right, wait. Good. I was trying to make a bad joke. Tell me about it again. The Jets, the Blues, and who else? Coyotes?
Coyotes.
And there's one more.
Mm-hmm.
Was he there for a while? Do you know?
I do not. I can.
Okay, I mean, it's.
But there's
gonna
only really
say-
one hint I can give you, but it will give it away.
Yeah,
No, don't do it.
Give it away.
I'm going to say.
It's not the Blackhawks.
I got 2 guesses, but I'm going to go Colorado first.
I got. Oh,
He was only there for 18 games.
I'm going Atlanta Thrashers.
That's right.
Wow. Wow. They don't
Yes.
even exist.
Yes.
They don't even exist.
Nothing on the screen. Didn't look it
There
up.
wasn't.
That's my brain coming at you,
That was
baby.
Will Fuller stuff working for you on the other side. That was terrific.
That was really good.
I mean, you got a team that
I was a
doesn't even
fan.
exist.
I was a fan, man.
We
Brent-
killed that hockey segment.
Crushed it.
Bonus point if you can get his brother.
There's Matt, there's Keith. I thought I was doing a pretty good bonus point by getting Dad.
Well, Keith is, that is good, but double.
You
got-
Matt. I mean, listen,
you
if
got
your dad's
Matt
name's
and you got-
Keith and your kid's name's Matt.
No, it's it's something.
Steven.
Tyrion? No, I don't know.
Brady.
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 I never got.
From New England?
What teams do you play for, Brent?
No idea.
I've never heard of Brady Kachuk.
Really?
I don't think so.
No, he's good. Plays for Ottawa.
That's
Ottawa.
why. Hey,
It's not Ottawa, it's Ottawa.
that's why I've never heard of him.
Ottawa.
I don't follow the Senators, man.
right, very good.
Trash team.
When we come back, our organization will be back. Football at 5 rolls on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We're breaking open some cards today. Maybe we'll get a Byron Leftwich beauty.
Let's go, man. Autographed.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics.
You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Well, hello there. I am the Guitar Hotel. I have over 3,000 of the newest slot machines and nearly 200 table games with real cards and real dealers. Come experience my incredible lineup of restaurants, bars, and of course, Hard Rock Live. Or spend a day soaking up the sun in my 18 acres of poolside paradise. I can't wait to meet you. Visit hardrockholly.com to find out more.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Start your new year in a like-new car from the pre-owned experts at Arlington Toyota. Arlington Pre-Owned has over 300 used available. All makes, all models. Some even same model year. You've got to see it. And when it comes to buying with confidence, just leave it to my friends at Arlington. Their 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it. Add some major excitement to your new year and an amazing new ride from Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. In person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
If you've been injured on the job and are not receiving the benefits you're entitled to, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
We all know the soothing scent of Vicks Vapo Rub, the comforting scent families everywhere have come to trust. Whether you had a pesky cough and couldn't go to sleep, or you just needed a loving touch of care to help you feel better, Vicks Vapo Rub has always been there. It always made you feel better, and today, it still does. Reach for Vicks Vapo Rub and wrap yourself with the calm and soothing relief only Vicks Vapo Rub can bring. Vicks Vapo Rub, trusted soothing vapors, always there for you.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? With nights getting longer, it might be time to refresh your headlights. You'll see better and drive safer. Why not try Sylvania Silver Star Ultra Bulbs? They have the furthest down road light, and right now you can get a $10 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy two. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or free next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
We can't answer questions that it's tough to ask, like I had said last week. We're the guys that's trying to be interviewed for the job. We can't answer the questions that's being asked of us. That's like, we can't ask that because it's not for us to answer. We're being asked questions that we can't answer. All people really want is an opinion of what we think of the process. And that's really irrelevant, right? It's really irrelevant when you think of it.
Well, that's Byron Leftwich, and that was with Sam Weich and Jim Trotter, who do a podcast together. And that was after the Super Bowl back in January, so after they had won. And I thought it was really good, really well done. The interview was a good listen. There's a lot of stuff about the Super Bowl, but there's also a lot about Byron. Mm-hmm. And so if you get a chance to look that up and you're interested in that, it really gives you a good perspective. Somebody had shared it with me a couple weeks back, and I really watched, and I was like, wow. And that's when I started doing a lot more work. And I wrote a lot of notes down off that of what he was saying. And there are other articles and things to do your homework on as well. But this was on Huddle and Flow podcast, by the way. That's the name of it. And I tried to get those guys on today, or one of them, and they're kind of busy, tied up with the playoffs. So maybe down the road we can. But anyway, if you get a chance, go check that podcast out with Weich and Trotter. And Byron was really good. I told you guys already, if you listen to it, go after like the 18 to 20-minute mark, and then that's when it starts really digging into who he is as a person, a coach, and what he's all about. And it actually goes about the Jags days, and it's really good, really good. So might be something that you want to explore after our show.
There it is.
Not right now. Don't do that.
Keep it locked right here, everybody.
Keep it locked in. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. It's a Wednesday here in Jacksonville.
How the mentions looking, Brent? Talk to us here.
Not been too bad. I mean, they got all over me early. A very emotional day today for Twitter.
Do we need to play again or not? Or do we need to play the game again? Or are we good?
Yeah, I don't think I tweeted anything bad today, but
I gotta check it out real quick.
It's all about interpretation right now. So here's what I tweeted today. Let's see. I haven't tweeted that much today.
Hang on.
Did you get one? I said pretty cool. Might not be the only NFL team choosing full circle this week. Chicago Bears. I thought that's a neat story, huh? Poles was a player.
That's a great story.
GM.
Casey, hit the button. Uh-oh. Brent's getting ratioed on Twitter again. It's time to play everybody's favorite game.
What Brent should have tweeted.
And here's your host, Casey Kurtz.
What'd you do now, Brent?
I don't know.
Brent Martineau 4 hours ago.
This is probably the Gene Fournette one.
Brent, hang on, we'll get to that one too. Brent Martineau 4 hours ago. Y'all are very emotional right now, and I kind of like it. Crying face emoji, joy hands, we'll call it jazz hands emoji.
Oh, it wasn't a bad ratio. It was an okay ratio.
Ratioed.
126 likes and 28 replies. What characterizes a ratio?
Going to those quote tweets. Hey, quote tweets as well. Quote tweets. Yeah, going to the quote tweets as well, though. And when you go into those, Brent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's where the emotion. I wasn't wrong. I mean, what's the matter with telling the truth on this app?
Just a little ratio, though. You know what I'm saying? I think what would have been better if you just didn't tweet anything at all, and don't rile up the fan base who's obviously emotional right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go for a no tweet there as well.
Oh, no tweet. You sure think I should have tweeted?
So we have two no tweet votes. Yeah. Casey, hit it again, please. Got another one. I found one. Uh-oh. Brent's getting ratioed on Twitter again. It's time to play everybody's favorite game.
What Brent should have tweeted.
And here's your host, Casey Kurtz.
Who's the one with no energy? Like, there's one with a lot of energy, and there's one with no energy.
That would be Megan, because she's over it.
She didn't want to do it.
Yeah, she didn't want to do it.
It's not like I don't pump up WAP 95.1 in the morning, Megan, from time to time.
Oh, Brent, we don't need pumping. Okay? We're all good, Brent. We don't deflate.
You going to call us Michigan again?
No. But we don't deflate.
I like it. Finally, you are on my side for something here. That's
Brent,
good.
Brent, we don't deflate in the cold. We don't have to go to Wawa and pump those tires back up. We're all good, man. We're inflatable. Anyways,
say the gas station next time. They're not paying us anything.
We don't go to a gas station and pump up our tires. Maybe a nice gas station that has a couple pumps to pump your tires up.
And the air is free.
Like a Tesla, does it pump up itself?
No, I'm calling right now. I don't care if they're not paying us. Wawa's the place to go pump your tires up because they don't charge you, and there's more than one pump. Enough said.
Yeah.
Casey, we good? You agree with that?
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay.
Well,
hey, Wawa, cut the check. They actually did cut the check. Remember, they gave my son a bunch of toys and stuff.
They did.
Oh, that's okay then.
Time.
Yeah. So we're all good. Friends of the show, Wawa.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I spent plenty of money on coffee over there.
Brent Martineau retweeted from Eugene Fournette, old saying in the newspaper business about breaking stories that is better to be last and right than first and wrong. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, well, at least Gene was the one that got ratioed on that one.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but then you also kind of got ratioed a little bit too.
I did, and here's the thing with that one. That wasn't like, hey, Gene, stand up for the old guy. Gene, sorry. But that was more, at the time, there was Schefter had tweeted, Rappaport had tweeted, so I was just sharing tweets.
No, I know.
Of people that maybe Gene knew something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold you down for a retweet.
I'm going to hold him down for a retweet.
I'm just trying to share with everybody the latest on what's going on.
See, but I think you're critically trying to create the narrative.
Listen,
I think you're creating the narrative.
I love the one guy, too. Is I think he said something to the effect of, what did he say? Like, I'm not sure you're going to hook your saddle to Gene.
No, I mean.
Hook your wagon to Gene, hook your saddle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he said something like that.
Okay. Well, I mean, you might have thought that David Culley was white for a second that one time. Remember when he reported that?
Yeah,
that wasn't the best look.
I understand. I've seen turkeys and trash cans.
Okay. And once again, Brent, it's an emotional time. I may not have retweeted it. I think you're playing heel. I think you're going full heel. I really do.
I think retweeting the cryptic tweet from Gene gives you a little swag.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
And he has none. So, like, I'm just
okay.
I feel like
well, that was a passive aggressive diss. I liked it.
No, I'm saying I think it helps the brand. I think you're just I think it helps.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, this is not premeditated, calculated stuff.
I'm starting to wonder if Bulky's getting to Casey as well.
Dude.
Let me see. Casey, what kind of car you drive here today? You still got the same car?
The same one that I've always been driving.
Okay.
But listen,
if I see an Escalade in the parking lot, I'm gonna freak out.
I'll push any narrative for money. You know what I'm saying?
I tried to tell Byron Leftwich not to take this job if Bulky's still in place, and you told him he should. So who really is getting the inside scoop from Bulky?
Wait, so say that again? I didn't hear you.
I tried to tell earlier in the show, I tried to tell Leftwich, text him, and say, hey, don't take this job. If Bulky's still going to be the guy, you're going to be set up to fail. And you said, nah, take it. It's okay.
No, what did I say? I said text Shad Khan. I said text Shad Khan. Hey, shouldn't invite me on the boat. We wouldn't have been here. But you created this monster. Now you got to deal with this monster. Shouldn't invite me on the boat.
This seems like it's going to turn into Clue or whatever show that Marshawn Lynch is playing on sooner or later. Who did it?
Maybe. I'm just saying, we could have avoided this whole thing. I would have been the biggest Trent Baalke supporter. I would have been rocking T-shirts for Trent Baalke. But don't get a boat invite, and now we're here. You created this monster. You got to deal with this monster. And trust me, I ain't going nowhere.
Was Trent Baalke on the boat?
No.
Oh.
But,
let me drive the boat.
I have seen...
I haven't heard that in a minit.
Trent Baalke did one, off-the-record meeting with the media.
Yeah.
In a room, and that's been it. Hasn't done a press conference, news conference, any of that stuff, and I don't...
I think he's at my gym sometimes.
Is he?
I should say what's up.
Yeah, he should. Or maybe you should be like the guy that heckled him leaving the stadium.
No, I wouldn't do that. Dude, I would spot him. Like, if he's at the bench press, I'd be like, I kind of stand, hey, what's up, man? I know what I'm doing. So what's up, dude? You leaving or what are you doing? Okay, get a little heavy. Oh, hey, you gonna tell me what? What are you doing?
And then it would be text from Ian Rappaport. Or Brad.
For sure.
If you saw Baalke at the gym and he said, hey, I'd really like to come on the program, what would you say?
Absolutely.
Talking to Austin.
Yeah, Brent, hey, see, I'm not making any money from it, so I don't know if I would really say that. Hey, you know
what does your Venmo look like?
Hey, you know what I tell him? We'll see. Like if Trent Baalke's like, hey, I'm a really big fan of your show. You and Brent are doing a great job. You guys are very forward thinking in terms of how you use the social media, platforms like YouTube, our podcast on iTunes, and all that good stuff. Check it out right now, everybody. If Trent Baalke comes up to me and says, hey, I'd like to come on the show sometime, I'll say to him, we'll see. Tell Ian to get a hold of me first. Because Ian stopped following me too on Twitter. You used to follow me. We used to interact.
Ian used to follow you?
Was that real?
I swear to God, dude.
You're dead to Ian.
We need to have it. We need to have
he's out of the league and he dumped you.
He did.
That's what he did.
But we need to have an interact.
He's a front runner.
We need to have a segment of all the times that Ian Rappaport tweeted at me because it's a lot. I'm not lying.
So the tweet you posted earlier about Carly Rae Jepsen was real?
That was real. I promise you.
I thought it was fake.
I mean, we can have a full segment of just Ian Rappaport tweeting. And I never tweeted at him either because I'm like, I didn't know who he was, I didn't. Right. But look at this, man. Check this out. Tweeting me all the time. What does that say, Brent? Ian Rappaport.
I am now following A-Train because of this. Oh, that was when you put your workout.
Yep, for sure.
How'd you find this stuff so fast?
I know. There's skill. All right, here you go, Brent.
They already elected a pope. WTF, I didn't even get to text and cast my own vote yet.
And what
Ian said me either.
You better believe it, man. Ian Rappers. Hey, this one's the Carly Jepsen one I retweeted.
You weren't even in the NFL at this time, were you?
Yeah, I was in the NFL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tweet stopped in 2015, didn't it?
It did. Oh,
Two things
absolutely.
happened. Austin left the NFL.
Hey,
and Ian got bigger.
Here's one more. Ian Rappaport agreed with me again. What does that one say?
Says
you can't maybe read that part, but yeah, you got it.
The pissed off moment you open your lunchbox at school to see mom packed pizza Lunchables, no microwave in sight.
And when
he said, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Why don't we do an Ian
Rappaport
Rappaport tweet segment?
Hey, I got tons of them, man. So you just let me know when you're ready. Yeah. And then dude just got up and
dumped
left.
You, man.
Dumped me, man.
Totally. And now, wait a minute. Did you say something bad to him?
Never.
You didn't?
Never.
You never jokingly said something?
No, I didn't even hit him back ever. Because I didn't know who, honestly, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Like,
you didn't live in that world.
Yeah, I don't just comment on random people on Twitter. I don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
But yeah, now,
I think
after
to your
that,
point, though, we could make this place go crazy if we would just tomorrow come in the show wearing Save Bulky shirts.
I mean, I appreciate what you're doing for the show in terms of playing the heel.
Yeah.
It's helping the viewership out. I don't want the responsibility. Too much for me, but
yeah.
It looks good on you.
I'm probably not spending money on that.
On
T-shirts?
T-shirts?
Money.
For bulky T-shirts?
Not spending money on bulky T-shirts.
Okay. I can't wait for the apologies, I'm going to say.
I'm not apologizing to anybody.
Brent, that was part of the deal.
Oh.
Do you want me to go back and find the footage?
I know you will.
No, you're not going to back out again.
What am I?
All right? The table's one thing. Because if Trent Baalke is going to be the GM for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 2022 season, you owe the entire fan base an apology because you died on the hill that Trent Baalke was going to be released. Do you remember that?
I live up to that.
Remember when I said if we see him at the Combine rocking that 3/4 Jaguar zip?
Yeah.
You got to give me an apology?
I did.
I'm looking forward to that.
You said the Combine. Damn it. I wish you said like OTAs.
It was the
There's
Combine.
a chance he could get fired after the draft still.
It's not what we established,
Hey, at least you
Brett.
didn't say the Senior Bowl.
You said Combine.
That's true. Is anybody from the Jags even scouting the Senior Bowl?
I don't think so.
Like, are they going?
They're just waiting for the Combine.
That's a week from yesterday.
There's going to be some of that shrimp
the bowl
cocktail.
game's not, but
So some of that shrimp cocktail sauce, yeah.
should we go to the Senior Bowl? Let's do a vote. Like, not we. Like, you're not. You got you got morning show stuff and everything.
I thought we established that, yeah.
Well, but I might be going.
All right.
So should I go to the Senior Bowl?
Not if the Jags aren't.
I know. I have no idea if the Jags are even going.
Is Hutchinson, Thibodeau, or
No, none of those guys.
Then no.
Then what do we?
Well, but the Jags, it'll be fine. You get listen. Jags have other picks other than number one, man.
All right.
So we've had some great interviews at the Senior Bowl before.
We have.
Yeah,
we have.
We talked to the accountant.
Yep.
Hunter Renfrow.
We talked to Hunter Renfrow.
We talked to Gardner Minshew.
We did.
We talked to the kid, the
Stetson
Parham.
Yeah, Donald Parham.
Yeah,
the most
the
awkward
Chargers
interview.
can make pretty good player, but the Jags said, "Nah, we don't need tight ends."
Yeah, we're all set. Remember that interview though? Because he was like towering over both of us,
huge.
and he was standing in the middle of us, and we're both holding microphone. That was awkward.
That was awkward.
But we got it done.
We did that one together.
And
It was the only interview we did together.
And of course, yeah. And by the way, no disrespect to you, never again. That was awkward.
Yeah, that was
awkward.
bad.
But
I don't know why we did it that way.
And then my first interview, you said the guy was going to be a little too short to play in the NFL, and I said something about this guy. First interview ever.
That was
Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew, you got Daniel Jones taking up the entire room, people talking to him. How'd that work out for everybody? And then you got Drew Lock, taking up the other half of the room. How'd that work out for him? And then we got Gardner Minshew in the corner. Nobody's talking to him. No. And what do? I go up to him because I knew his story. I knew the mustache thing. I'm like, dude, I got to go talk to you.
You did.
First person.
Did your homework?
Did my homework and everything.
That was your first professional interview.
No, I was nervous. Not the best interview. Not the best interview.
We should go back and get that.
It's awkward. Sound quality sucks, but it's all good.
I respect you for not talking
bad?
to Drew Lock.
Oh, yeah, forget that. Dude.
Was the quality bad?
I'm sorry?
Oh, yeah, I think we did that one off the phone.
Was bad. Yeah.
We did. We did. We didn't have whoever. I don't know if Marcel was with us that time.
Yeah.
So we didn't have the camera there.
Yep.
We just
for
did
sure.
it on the phone.
Yeah.
What kind of hokey operation is this? Well, that was month one.
No, for sure.
So
that was our first run with it, man.
Yeah. I like going to the Senior Bowl, but
it's fun.
We're seriously debating whether to go to the Senior Bowl. I'm credentialed to go.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we should go.
Yeah.
I mean, there are players you can interview. There are Florida State players and Florida players and the like. But and the other, they do have a breakfast this year. The last couple of years because of COVID, they've just had like the podium. Well, they do basically they have it in the convention center where you can go get anybody. They'll have like the one team for 45 minutes, the other team for 45 minutes, and that's the best thing. Like that's the best part of the Senior Bowl. That and if you go out to practices, you can usually run into maybe a Jags GM or a Jags coaching staff member. Well,
is there actual breakfast at the breakfast?
I think there is. Yeah.
You think there is?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Can you give me a credential?
The best? No, we don't. You don't want that.
Good.
You want to go by the hotel where you eat like 550 Reese's peanut butter cups.
Dude, all you can eat peanut butter cups.
You stuff your pockets with Reese's peanut butter cups and hope that it's not too hot out and they melt.
It's a good point, too, as well.
It's also where the happy hour horn was born.
Yes.
It died during COVID.
What was that? Yeah, what is that? I mean, I could probably bring the morning show there. Like, is Pitbull going to do like a halftime show or something? Like,
the Senior Bowl.
I mean, if you
We should all go.
if you make it worth our while, I can drag my tag along in the morning show with. I mean, she's not going to be the most impressed, but it's mobile.
Famous top 40, and I'm not going to help you here, but you have to deliver. This is your genre.
Go on.
Famous top 40 act
Hit me with
from
it.
Alabama.
The band Alabama.
No, I just told you that's not a top 40 act.
I know. I'm trying to think. Famous top 40 act?
Do you
know
one?
Do you know one?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then this is going to go nowhere.
Kane Brown?
Well, I can look it up.
Is Kane Brown from Alabama?
No way.
Good question.
I don't-
Because he's gone over, right?
Isn't he from Florida?
Hey, he has transcended.
Oh, he's
He
from
has
Tennessee.
transcended.
Yeah, he has transcended. Yeah, he's in top 40.
Is he?
No, he's not from
Which
Alabama.
song does he have in the top 40?
I don't know, man.
Oh. Caden Brown's pretty good.
I should know it. Yeah, he's got the one about the truck and the girl in the lake. You know what I'm talking
The
about?
one?
Hey, you know that country song?
Yeah.
Took my baby down to the lake, put a dip in, you know. Dad had her home
There
by
are a couple
9.
options, by the way.
Are there really? From Alabama?
All right, don't tell us yet. I'm going to give you a chance after we get Captain Rick on. Top Alabama musical artists in the top 40 genre.
Is Katy? Nah, not Katy Perry, but she did the Ole Miss Alabama.
Oh, that'd be good. She is kind of like SEC country a little bit, right?
Is Katy Perry from Alabama?
Say
She's
yes
not
or
on
no.
my list.
Okay, she's not on your list.
Okay. I mean, is there a list?
Well, there's got to be some kind of
Famous
list.
people from Alabama. Google.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, I like
Go
that.
first.
Okay.
Don't do it. You're not allowed to.
I'm
Let's
not.
get Captain Rick on right now, Florida Sports and Fishing Report. And we check out the waters. It's rainy. We got that going for us. What's happening, Captain Rick?
Oh, we're going to talk to Perry. Sorry, I've got the wrong number.
So do I.
I tell you, Brent, I tell you what, it turned out to be a whole lot better yesterday than what we thought it was going to be. I hadn't heard much when we went on the air, but that's because most of the high-speed Wahoo boats were fishing up north of Fernandina, some of them almost pushing into Brunswick waters. But, man, did they find the Wahoo, up to 10 big Wahoo per boat yesterday. And if you're doing the math, that's 500 to 600 pounds of Wahoo that they were catching high speeding up there. That is some phenomenally good fishing. Now, down closer to home, today was the day. Inshore was the place to be. David Voorhees today had 8 flounder, which is unheard of for the end of January. So limited legal reds, some nice 23-inch fish, and had quite a few trout up to about 20 inches. So good inshore fishing today, probably good inshore fishing tomorrow as the offshore scene starts to crank back up. We get a little bit more northeaster coming just in time for the weekend, where it's going to blow like a son of a gun for the 3rd weekend in a row. But there's one thing you can count on. We'll be back tomorrow with another fishing report brought to you by CSS Landscapers. They're paying top dollar for top landscaping, and Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing. Thank you, Brent.
Thanks, Captain Rick. Appreciate it. Captain Rick Riles, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report each and every day. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Saturday mornings, check out the show at 7 a.m. right here on ESPN 690. You got an act?
I think I have one. In case you're joining the show, Football at 5 right now, naming pop singers from Alabama. Football at 5.
Senior Bowl acts. That's why we got into this. Okay, so it did have something to do with football. You started it.
I know her daddy, Alabama, mama's Louisiana.
Oh.
You mix that something, and it's a Texas slang. Beyonce, she from Alabama?
No.
Texas?
Yeah, Houston.
Dang it. But her dad's from Alabama.
There we go.
So that's a point.
At least in the song.
That's a point for me. Oh, what's she going to lie about in the song? I got
Here's
nobody.
a question. We talking top 40 ever or right now?
Got to be right now, right?
That's what I thought.
Are we?
Yeah, well, I mean, unless we don't have anybody.
We got one sort of.
I mean, maybe someone that could play for the Senior Bowl. Maybe Matt Nagy's going to pull out all the stops. Use some of that. It's Matt Nagy, right?
That's not Matt Nagy. It's Jim Nagy.
Sorry, Jim Nagy. Sorry, Jim. Yeah, so Jim Nagy may pulls out all the stops this year because, in terms of the guys coming, do we have any big names yet going to the Senior Bowl? Kyle Pickett, you going to be there?
How about Kenny?
Kenny. Kyle Trask, is he coming back? Kenny Pickett, is he going to be there? Tebow going to be there? I'm saying maybe you got to up your game a little bit in the music industry. So maybe he's going to bring some
Dan
celebrity.
Campbell will be there.
Okay, Dan
coaching the team.
I want to interview him.
That would actually be a pretty good
That'd be
interview,
great.
right?
I don't know, man. Give me some Alabama stuff.
So we only really have two. One's old and one's current.
Okay.
There's actually a lot of famous people from Alabama. So
okay.
Old, we got Lionel Richie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So American Idol, that might.
Yeah, there you go. Kind of puts him in today's world, doesn't it?
And then the one in
Fiesta.
today is it's a little questionable. You might throw a fit, but I'm not going to take the slander. Gucci Mane.
Oh, no. I mean, that's not top 40, but I love Gucci, man. Yeah.
So that's where we go.
Brett, you know Gucci Mane?
Yeah, I do.
What's its favorite song?
No idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know.
I know you do.
By
But
the
I have
way,
no idea. I sincerely have no idea what's
No,
the first
for sure.
I'm
song.
going to run down some other people that are from Alabama. Helen Keller.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Channing Tatum.
Okay.
Charles Barkley. Deontay Wilder, apparently. Courtney
Of
Cox.
course, Deontay Wilder's. Yeah.
Rosa Parks. Holyfield.
Okay.
Hank Aaron. A lot of famous people.
I love
Alabama's
Leo
a
Jones.
spot.
Did you get him yet?
Yeah, I'm scrolling. He's like 19th on my list.
I just wish I
Bo
would
Jackson.
appreciate it if you didn't put Helen Keller in the same category as Channing Tatum. But that's just me.
Bro, Helen Keller's number 1, most famous in my list, and then Channing Tatum's number 2. I don't know why.
Hey, Big Diesel brings up a good point. By the end of the week, you got any standout potentials for the Senior Bowl? It doesn't have to be maybe by the end of the week, maybe early next week. We'll do that.
Well,
we should do that. So Big Diesel, we'll get you.
Yeah, we do that. Remember, we both like Debo.
Yeah.
Debo Samuel.
Yeah. Hey, ringing endorsement for my man Daniel Jones. Did you see this coming out of New York?
Yeah.
And is this going to get the Giants in trouble? And does that not help hiring a coach in terms of the ownership view of this?
I'm glad we're going to this because I think it told us a big thing you're not even talking about. I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be the guy. The way it was worded, can't wait to talk about this.
All right. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Plus, today's the Voley's House of Cards.
What we got, Brett?
Blaster break.
Oh, we got some nice paninis.
We got the new. You didn't give me any tips this week.
I didn't know you were going yet.
Oh, we got some paninis.
It's Wednesday. I
You got
deliver.
select.
It's
Get out
select.
that ham.
You okay with that?
Get out some ham and some cheese. We're going paninis today, right?
We're going 2020. Well, it's always panini. It seems like Panini
It
has
has to be,
the corner,
Give
the
him that
market corner.
Give him that panini press, baby.
But select 20. It's a blaster exclusive, baby.
Ooh.
Blue Prism. That's what we're going after.
Pretty
Coming up.
Pretty pricey in this one?
Not as pricey as the last one, but decent.
Okay.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Lingering light rain and drizzle will be ending. Mostly cloudy, breezy, and chilly today with highs only in the mid-50s. Becoming partly cloudy tonight. We'll drop into the mid-40s. And partly cloudy tomorrow. We will manage to get to near 60 degrees in the afternoon. I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
Here's to a new you in 2022. Cora Physical Therapy has opened 2 new state-of-the-art clinics in Kingsland and Brunswick. That means you have 17 clinics to choose from in the Jacksonville region. At Cora, you get access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. We do getting better, and faster. Call today for a free screening. Same-day appointments available. This new year, start to feel like the old you again. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Florida children are eligible for head-to-toe coverage through the Florida Kid Care Program, which is high-quality, affordable health and dental coverage with cost as low as $15 a month. To assist families applying for Florida Kid Care or Medicaid and increase enrollment in the Florida Kid Care Program, the Players Center for Child Health with Wolfson Children's Hospital offers free application assistance. For appointments, call 904-202-WELL. That's 904-202-9355. Habla Español.
Tobacco-Free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you never come back to smoke. I'll never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
And now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that non-contact thermometers are not accurate. They also have inaccurate information on their labels regarding accuracy. New COVID strains are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
This is the story of a very special woman. Just a few knew about her superpowers. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Deep breaths.
Mi's virtual meditation studio has never been busier.
Imagine not working.
They need a remote assistant to realign their scheduling.
Blank calendar. Sorry, back to your breath.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Make calls, schedule virtual interviews, and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now, during our January sale, save $1,000 on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed, plus special financing, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Hey, it's Brent Mortno from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
I don't think we've ever ripped him, or for that matter, Bonds. We've given both of them their just due. They stand apart from many of the other players, either obviously having a connection to PEDs or suspected. They stand apart because they would have been elite first ballot Hall of Famers, inner circle Hall of Famers on their natural merits, and we give them full credit for that. But they'd be in already were it not for the notion among many voters that their involvement with PEDs, if not disqualified them, they're on the ballot, cost them a percentage of the writer's vote.
That's my man Bob Costas.
I told you we'd get him on. Now you got to stop tweeting.
Appreciate that. That's just for like a week, you said, right? No, that was for the
just
weekend
Sunday.
playoffs.
Yeah. Just,
You know. That doesn't count.
Yeah, I tried. Well,
Oh, man.
I don't know if like a Bob Costas interview would do anything for anyone. Like if we had him on the show, like I'm not sure people would be like, great, get Bob Costas.
I mean, you know how I'm doing.
Yep.
I'm going, Bob, take
Pink
us
eye.
back to the pink eye. What was going through your head?
Yeah.
How'd you overcome? Gutsy performance from Bob Costas.
But
Dude
I
was suffering so bad.
I'm a big Costas guy. So
I know you
selfishly it would be.
I know.
It'd be good.
What would you think about the votes, Brent? The Hall of Fame, yeah.
Listen, I think David Ortiz should get in, and I think the rest, I think we really said a lot about it yesterday. We kind of knew what was going to happen. I thought maybe we'd sneak another guy in there, but we didn't. So just David Ortiz. I think David Ortiz is a Hall of Famer, but I think Alex Rodriguez is a Hall of Famer. I think Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. I think Roger Clemens is a Hall of Famer. I think more guys are Hall of Famers. And so I think it's a travesty. I saw a tweet, and you guys might have seen this. I didn't delete this tweet. You guys didn't suggest I do in a game or anything, so that's good, or what Brent should have tweeted. This didn't change it.
Yeah.
But did you see the all-time hits leader is Pete Rose. He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The all-time home run leader is Barry Bonds, not in the Hall of Fame. And the all-time Cy Young leader is Roger Clemens, not in the Hall of Fame. And so I say close down the hall then. I mean, what the hell's the purpose of it? Or, like I told you guys yesterday, then get their names out of the record books.
Yeah.
Then just delete them.
Yeah.
Like, why is it okay to have them in the record books if not for the Hall of Fame? And some people will qualify this to say, listen, Brent, you can see them in the Hall of Fame and what they did because those numbers are in the Hall of Fame. Their bust is not in the Hall of Fame. And I get that to a point. But you're still deciding. It's about being in the Hall of Fame. It's not about having an artifact in the Hall of Fame. You know?
It's just, yeah. No, I agree with you. It's about the history and, like, are you just trying to erase it like it never happened? Like that's what you get. Like this voting.
Well, it's like they are, so erase it.
But also,
then erase it. Like it should not count then.
But wasn't David Ortiz also tied to some?
And he was. So now you're being hypocritical.
So is Mike Piazza.
Yeah. So it shows if you're a nice guy, then congratulations, you get in the Hall of Fame.
And I think there is an element of that. And by the way, Bonds is a jerk.
Yeah.
Like
no,
he was.
Kurt Schilling.
And Schilling has his own issues.
Yeah. And he took a hit on those votes.
He did.
When he said, I don't want to be in, they said, all right.
I got to be honest with you. I said to myself, when you told me to vote on the ballot, I said, all right, I know a lot of these guys aren't the greatest guys in the world. I'm not judging on that. I don't know whether the integrity of using steroids or not. I'm not judging on that. But I will say the Schilling one stood out to me because he told me not to vote for him last year. No. And he said, I'll just wait. And I was like, you know what? All right. He said he wanted me. So I kind of, even though I was trying to talk myself into not doing that. And by the way, I'm a Red Sox guy. I got plenty of reason to put Schilling in.
Yeah.
I tried to factor in the fact that I think Schilling's kind of a borderline guy anyway. And I think the antics certainly don't help when you're a borderline guy. The problem is Clemens is not a borderline guy. Bonds is not a borderline guy. And so it shouldn't. I didn't hear a thing yesterday that changed my mind about how I feel about everything. And I think I'm not in the minority here. I think a lot of the public feels the same way. And so if they don't have a problem, stop with these old crusty baseball writers trying to, set the moral code on our lives and in baseball.
Yeah, because now you're making it about you. You're not making about the game of baseball anymore. But, shout out to Big Papi, though. At least, one guy got in.
Good for Big Papi.
And I think we had Tim Kirchin on the line here calling in to ESPN.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Brett. I'll take it from here. ESPN's Tim Kirchin coming to you live from ESPN 690 studios. Just want to give a big shout out there to David Ortiz, a.k.a. Big Papi, level when they call him Big Papi. We talk about David Ortiz in the live ball era. We're talking about the all-time DH leader in home runs and RBIs, 10 times All-Star, 3 times World Series champion. And here's a fun fact, Brett. I bet you didn't know about David Ortiz. If you take the CHR in the live ball era, and of course the CHR means the number of claps compared to the number of home runs for only players that don't roll up their pants, David Ortiz finished second overall behind, yes, you guessed it, Ray Langford of the St. Louis Cardinals. So with that being said, he's in rarefied air, and he's definitely earned his Hall of Fame bid. ESPN's Tim Kirchin. Back to you, Alex.
That was pretty good. You all right?
No.
Okay.
Nope, that one hurt.
Some water?
That one went too long. That one went too
Hey,
long.
listen, we got some whiskey back here, a little vodka if you need to really wash it down.
That's going to burn, though. That's going to burn. That's not what we need. I need some, milk of magnesia or something.
Well done. By the way, Alex Rodriguez, 34% of the vote in his first time.
You thought that was good?
That's tracking well.
Yeah.
But
ridiculous.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
And another guy people hate. It's a popularity contest. It's ridiculous. It's just I don't like it. The conversation annoys me. It really does.
Yeah.
And I tweeted this again yesterday once I found out. Is my problem with it and I don't know enough of the inside info, but I think we all can agree on this. Major League Baseball knew what was happening. This is how I tweeted it. They knew what was happening. They turned their head on it. They profited from it, and now they're blaming the players for it for the last 20 years. And they knew it. They created an atmosphere where cheating was okay. And that's how you got paid. That's how you survived in the league, because it saved baseball. And now we got to hold all these players to this holier-than-thou standard. Listen, I don't like that the players did it either. But if their livelihoods were on the line and their money was, how many other people would have done it? Everybody. Everybody would do it, or most people would do it. Not everybody did it, so that's not fair. But most people did. That's why second basemen were doing it, because they thought they'd lose their job. Would you take that chance for $50 million? Guess what? The guys that did got paid pretty nicely. They might not go to the Hall, but they get paid pretty nicely. You know who else got paid nicely? Major League Baseball. The sport was dead until McGuire and Sosa did it. So, all right. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm going to try not to keep going.
No, keep talking, because my voice might be shot, so keep talking, please.
I just don't. Someday, do you know, Casey, you paid attention to this, and I keep saying this. I don't want to say it in an ill-advised or I don't even know what unjust. That's not the word I was looking for, but I can't find the word. Way, but you get my point. Like, has Major League Baseball ever been held accountable for it?
No.
You know, is there something that's come out that they've admitted to, or they said, hey, you know, we could have been better? Or, I mean, I don't know of anything like that. All the target is always on, like, Bonds and Clemens and other players. Yeah. And I just, listen, they deserve some of that culpability. They do. And you can decide. But why is Major League Baseball not culpable for that at all? And I love the sport. But I don't understand why they don't get any of the blame. It just doesn't. I don't know how you blame them, by the way. But I don't know. This doesn't make sense to me. You know what else doesn't make sense to a lot of people?
But we like it.
Is Daniel Jones.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cards. Dang it. My bad. Sorry.
Oh, no, we'll get the cards
going. A lot of people actually understand that.
Yeah. So
Daniel Jones, nobody, though.
The Daniel Jones thing, I've got to now find it. Basically, John Mara and Joe Shane said that, listen, Daniel Jones has been put in an unfair situation in his career. All right, here it is. I'm going to find it. We do feel that Daniel can play, says John Mara. We've done everything possible to screw this kid up since he's been here. I like the admission of that. We keep changing coaches, keep changing offense coordinators, keep changing offensive line coaches. I take a lot of responsibility for that. Well, let's bring in the right group of coaches now, give him some continuity, and try to rebuild the offensive line, then be able to make an intelligent evaluation of whether he can be the franchise quarterback or not. I have a lot of hope in Daniel. I know badly he wants it. I know the players feel about him. We are certainly not giving up on him by any stretch of the imagination.
And then they said that they won't trade for Deshaun Watson because of those reasons.
Yes.
Didn't mention Russell Wilson.
Yeah. So is that the thing? Like, because they said no Deshaun Watson, don't rule out some others.
Didn't
that's
mention
fair.
Russell Wilson.
Right? And that should be fair, by the way. Like, listen, if you could trade for Russell Wilson, and if you're 15 teams across the league that you even like your quarterback, not whether you do like or don't know, but even if you like your quarterback, you trade for Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or maybe even a Deshaun Watson. It's interesting they single out Watson to not be in the mix and squash that.
Yeah.
Just because maybe they probably don't want to deal with all the other stuff.
Yeah, maybe it's the optics, I would assume.
And so I guess my question to you is them saying this, them giving Daniel Jones at least a fighting chance here going forward, signifies a couple things. One, they're not sure if they're going to be able to land any of these big free agents.
That's correct.
Two, they don't know if there's anybody in the draft that they really like, and it might be worth going one more go-around with Daniel.
Sure.
And three, now, does this put them at a disadvantage from a coaching hire standpoint? Because I think what people have brought up is a very fair point. If you're Brian Daboll, who could be the front runner for that job, why are you going from Buffalo and Josh Allen to go try to take on a potential big-time project of not just the Giants, but of Daniel Jones, who might or might not work out anyway? I think you could even tail that down the coast a little bit and go to South Florida and ask yourself about Tua. But I think there's probably a little bit more hope in a guy like Tua right now and what's around everything in Miami than there is in New York.
Do you think that, and I don't know if, Daboll thinks like this, but do you think the Giants would bring in Daboll to say, like, hey, we have a poor man's Josh Allen right here in Daniel Jones? Like, similar, like in terms of size,
utilize him this way.
In terms of, dual threat capabilities.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, hey, we have our own Josh Allen here. Come make it happen. Now,
Yeah.
is Daniel Jones Josh Allen? I think it's not even close.
No.
But those types of narratives could be brought up.
It's good. He can run. You're right. He doesn't have the arm strength of Josh Allen. I mean, the gifted arm, the bazooka that Allen has, man. I tell you, Aaron Rodgers, the way he flicks it jumps out at you. Nothing jumps out at the arm talent like not even Mahomes. Like Josh Allen.
See, Mahomes, though, it's impressive because he does it when he's jumping in the air.
Yeah,
he does crazy things.
But the thing about NCAA tournament went through that thing in the basketball where whether it was one shining moment or not, they'd put the glow of the ball going through the hoop. Like if you put a glow thing on the football, it's like vroom,
straight,
right? It's just straight. It doesn't go like this. It's like everybody's passes have an arc to them.
Sure.
Josh Allen's, they just go boom. It's amazing. And I don't think Daniel Jones can run. He actually might even be faster than Josh Allen. He's not as physical as Josh Allen. So does that change? Can he take that kind of beating? Probably not. He's already actually had a couple concussions.
He took a pretty big beating this past season.
I know.
Yeah,
so that's already damaged him a little bit, probably.
Yeah.
So
And then he fell.
Yeah, he did fell over.
Probably got a concussion.
It's
memed.
It'll be interesting to see. I think Dable could buy into that. But man, I think I'll say it like Byron Leftwich we're talking about. If the situation isn't as good as it can be for you to succeed, don't just jump in. For Dable, if I don't have a quarterback, and I might not have one for the next 3 years, a la Matt Rule, I got to be really careful of that situation. Really careful of that situation.
I mean, at least here you have Trevor Lawrence.
At least here you have Trevor, and I think you could even say at least I have Tua or the cap space to do some dances with somebody else like a Watson, like a Wilson, like a whoever that might want to come to Miami in the future if Tua doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you do have draft capital in New York.
They do have some draft capital now, 2 top 10 picks, right? So we'll see. But it's just a fascinating thing. I really just, again, I'm not trying to get these guys to not take jobs. I'm trying to get these guys to put themselves in positions to succeed, not just jump at a job. It's dangerous to jump at a job. You might never get another chance.
I know. I'm stuck here. I'm kidding. Kidding.
We opened some cards up, baby. Select. First time we've ever done Select. It's a blaster break.
Panini Press, let's
right
go.
Here. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 when we come back.
The Tom Coughlin J Fund Wine Tasting Gala is back. On Thursday, March 3rd, join Coach Coughlin on the scenic downtown riverfront for culinary delights from 35 of Jacksonville's best restaurants and taste hundreds of the world's most renowned wines. Have a fun night out and be there to help provide financial and emotional support for local families who are tackling childhood cancer. To buy tickets for this outdoor event, go to tcjfund.org/wine.
My days are filled with meetings, so I rarely have time to answer my phone when it rings. I used to miss out on so many new clients just because I couldn't answer their calls. Now, I never miss a call, and my business is booming. All thanks to Smith AI, my virtual receptionist service. The award-winning receptionists at Smith AI answer my calls and schedule appointments. They even make outbound sales calls for me. They're the friendly face of my business while I focus on my work. Visit smith.ai to read 5-star reviews and use code ANSWER for $100 off.
Hello, this is the Crooks Are Us Tips line with an urgent announcement regarding Safe Touch security.
As a crook, by now you surely know the Crooks Are Us golden rule: stay away from Safe Touch houses.
But we just received word that may not be enough now.
Wait till you hear this.
Credible reports have surfaced that Safe Touch security cameras captured one of our associates in the act of breaking into a house. Only the camera was from a neighbor's house across the street.
That is so not fair.
And what this means is it's not enough to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Now we gotta stay way away from Safe Touch houses.
Boss, does that mean we gotta change the Crooks Are Us golden rule?
No, just remember the sentiment.
Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Correct. Be safe, fellow crooks. Safe Touch is everywhere.
Receive free equipment and free installation with monitoring agreement. Terms and conditions apply. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at ActionSportsShacksDream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to ActionSportsShacksDream18.com.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics.
You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
This is Matt Crowder live at the Shell station on 41st Street, reporting on the free gas app called Get Upside. That's letting people all over the country earn cash back on every gallon of gas they buy. Excuse me, miss. Have you heard of the Get Upside gas app?
Of course. People are earning as much as $300 a year with the Get Upside app. It's so easy. Open the app to see nearby gas stations offering money back, pick the one you want, and get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Get Upside gas app and earn up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder, Radio News Network.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to earn up to 25 cents a gallon cash back when you buy gas. Use promo code TODAY for a 50 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 75 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Get up to 75 cents a gallon cash back on your next fill-up when you download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TODAY. Promo code TODAY.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE?
Ladies, your man should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
for a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing.
Call 904-664-8217.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line.
Can't let a team like this get out in front of you, because then they put a lot of pressure on you on defense. They're going to blitz you and make you uncomfortable back there if you get down. We got down 14-0 in the last game, and it's not exactly where we wanted to be at that point in the game. We were able to fight out of it and ended up winning the game, but we'd like to have a stronger start.
Is that Burrow?
You better believe it. Why'd I play Joe Burrow sound, Brent?
Because we're trying to pull a Joe Burrow, baby.
You better believe
actually
it.
good.
In the select.
Well done.
All right, how much can a good Joe Burrow be here? I think I saw in the case at Davoli's House of Cards today, $285. One was for sale.
Come on.
Yeah, that's about, yeah.
Come
absolutely.
on. And then we in turn flip
Listen,
that
if we're
and
going to
get
get
more
one of
cards.
those auto things, if it's for 40 cents, I don't want to bang, okay?
For a second. No.
Where's Will?
You're getting a bang.
Will, are you still in the So have you ever noticed Will in the stream? There's this guy, Will. I don't know. He's not like my friend. It's not like a plant.
Burner?
It's not. Ever since we started opening cards, he was saying like bang on the stream.
Yeah, he goes nuts.
So he comes in like three times. He comes in
That's a
like
good
three
way,
times
yeah.
a day
Yeah.
and just says bang randomly. Like if the show's going well.
I like it. I have seen that, actually.
Brent,
I was like, did somebody just open a card?
Yeah.
Bang, Will's always here, he says. That a baby, Will.
I like it, man. Hey, but to be fair, if I pull an autograph, regardless of who it is, it could be a Trent Baalke autograph, I'm going bang because it's that rare.
Trent Baalke?
Yeah, I would.
I'm just saying.
Hey, do I have the lingo right here?
I'll
a
say
2020 Select Blaster Break live on ESPN 690.
That's it.
Gosh, I'm getting good at this.
Would you put raw uncut? No?
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
Raw, uncut.
I don't even know if Divoli's House of Cards is
100%
follows
genuine.
along on Twitter, but
I mean, they're getting a lot of pub.
giving them a shout out. A lot of pub.
I'm
buying these things too.
Are we doing just one pack today?
Well, here's the deal, and we get greedy, right? We're a little addicted to this.
Yeah.
And so there's only 6 packs in this box.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
That's a problem. So do we want to pace ourselves and do just one today for each of us?
Yep.
And then, again, we'll do one tomorrow.
Yep.
And then one Friday?
Or do you go back to the...
Probably get some more cards then, huh?
What? Say what you want to say.
You probably go
you
back
might not
and-
be here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be at...
Maybe.
Yeah, I could... Okay.
So two packs
It's
today.
supposed to be a UNF, by the way, tomorrow.
Woo, 2 packs.
UNFHousepraise.com. That's your swoop minute. They
Give
play
me my
tomorrow,
fix.
5 o'clock and 8 o'clock
I'm a
against
junkie.
Lipscomb. Let's get that in there while we can.
I'm
We'll
a
be out there
junkie.
in the lobby at UNF Arena tomorrow, unless we have to go down to the stadium for some breaking news.
Oh, okay. Well, then am I chilling here then, or do I get to go too?
Yeah, I'm
chilling here.
You're
Okay.
here.
Casey, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds
We're-
good.
Yeah,
I'll be
great.
We're
That's great.
You're coming to the arena, though, right?
Yeah, sure. That's
I don't
fine.
get to go
autographs.
anywhere. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's cool. Hey, you're in the parking lot.
Listen.
The last game of the season.
Oh, that's right. I was.
Yeah, that going for you.
That's right.
You got that going for you.
Do I have 2 packs or not, Brent?
Yeah, we'll do 2 packs then.
Well, can I get another pack?
What? Well, you need it in your hands right now?
I do. I
mean,
gotta
you gotta feel it.
Brent, there's a process that goes into me opening cards.
Okay.
Someone's pulling autographs and somebody's not. So don't question my tactics.
Yeah,
All
40
right,
cent, whatever.
Brent, we had other cards in that pack that were bangers. Okay.
Hey, one thing I
Okay.
want before we do this because I don't want to forget. Who did you want to pick yesterday in golf?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Who
We
did
don't
you
gotta
want
go
to
back
pick?
there.
Who did you want to
I
pick?
don't know his name.
Max
Billy
Homa.
Horschel.
Oh,
No.
Did you want to pick Billy Horschel?
No, I wanted to pick the other guy.
Max Homa.
Max
Did you
Homa.
say the name Billy Horschel and then somebody said I wouldn't pick him?
Well, I said I was thinking about
Yep,
Billy
I know.
Horschel, and then Casey said he sucks.
Here.
Well, he said he's not good here.
Sorry, he's not good
And
here.
Billy's a local guy, okay, friend of the program. Let's not go as far as he sucks.
I'm pretty sure you might have. Okay, you said
I
he's
said
bad.
he's not
at
good
this
here.
golf
He's not good.
course.
Okay, got you.
Well, he's leading.
Cool.
8 under.
As long as
By the
Homer's
way,
not.
how about Luke List? Maybe 5 under.
Is that your guy?
You know what's crazy? The tournament is not over. After 18
I
holes.
like this. I
Oh,
like
that's
this,
right.
but it's
Because
good
they,
to- I'm
because
gonna
they
make a
stopped
cut,
playing
baby.
Friday. You make a cut?
Maybe.
Hey, act like you're in first place right now.
Who'd you guys pick?
I can't remember.
He had Davis Riley.
Who?
Davis
Riley.
Who?
I believe
Yeah,
Georgia
I
Tech
know, man.
product.
It's plus 17,500.
Good.
You're getting 2, by the way. He's
Call him
2
a daily
under through
double.
4. That's not bad.
He's 2 under?
Yeah,
Let's go.
not bad. Tied for 50th. Made the cut if it would end right now.
Keep talking smack, though.
Who do you have?
Lonto.
Oh, you have Lonto Griffin.
He's doing good.
All right, go ahead. Open your cards. I'll find Lonto Griffin.
Okay.
There's a lot of people in this field.
All right.
Lonto's not in the top 50,
We got
unfortunately.
a rookie card, Anthony McFarland. Is this a zebra where it's black and white? No, it's just regular, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they look like.
Okay, cool. Mitchell Trubisky, lame.
Hmm.
Cam Newton turbocharged.
Oh,
Cam Newton select. Hey, back to back Cam Newtons.
Hey, I will-
you're getting ripped off, huh?
I will warn you,
You're getting ripped off.
there is a turbocharged Henry Ruggs in this product.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling you.
all right.
It exists.
I mean, that's
All right.
bad taste. I don't care who you are.
Show's
Come
about
on,
to end, by the way.
Panini.
FSU basketball against Georgia Tech tonight, 8:30 on ESPN 690.
All right, Brent.
I got TJ Watt.
Yeah.
That doesn't do much, huh? It's amazing you can be that good, and it doesn't do much in the card business. Marlon Davidson, like that's a tough thing to wrap my arms
I don't know
around.
who that player is.
Marlon's a big
That one
guy
looks
for
shiny.
Atlanta.
What do we got?
Oh, bang!
Wow.
Is it Burrow?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
Wow.
What's this?
That's a top loader right
That
there.
that is a top loader, but that's a small card.
That's a tiny card.
That looks like
is that,
unique.
Is that half price?
What is it?
Die cut. Is that a good one?
That's
Casey,
a good smile.
How much?
Casey's in
How
there.
much, Casey? How
Casey's
much
in here.
Brent got all his germy hands over it, though.
Joe Burrow, die card. I think he's what he said.
That's legit.
Hey, how about Christian McCaffrey? Do anything for you? Yeah, well, we sleeved it. We top-loaded it, baby. That's my best bang yet.
Nicely done, Brent. Nicely done.
I got excited about that one.
I got a Jonathan Taylor rookie card. Nothing.
Also very good.
Is it bangable?
Is it the base?
Yeah.
It's, you can
Bang.
tap it.
Bang.
Tap.
What year is this?
2020.
2000. I got a Kyler Murray select.
Talking about
It's holographic.
It's good. Silver.
No, it's the die cut. Kyler Murray.
Oh,
It's good. It's silver.
Is it top loader?
Yeah, we'll throw it in more.
Oh, bang! Hey, get off the Cam Newton bus. We got a Cam Newton Hot Stars.
Hey.
And then we got Chase Young rookie card. Nothing.
No, it's good.
Chase Young, not bad.
Chase Young.
Matthew Stafford,
Mm-hmm.
Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
If he wins the Super Bowl, that value goes up maybe. Jacob Eason, hey.
Don't justify
We actually
it.
had a couple Jacob Easons on
Yeah,
Friday.
we got so many Jacob Easons.
By the way, if
that
Carson
one
Wentz
looks
would
shiny.
get his
That
butt
one
out of the
looks-
way.
That one looks nice.
Oh, Khalil Mack.
Die cut.
Die cut. Khalil Mack. Ain't a rookie anymore, Khalil.
Unfortunately, he's
By
not.
the way, Khalil, where you been?
What's up with these die cut? These are just flimsy, though.
I know. They look like they come out of a cereal box.
I know.
And then Jeff Gladney.
Who's that?
Well, I can tell you paid
That's
for
not good.
Oh, it's not good.
That's
no.
in the...
It's kind of like the Henry Ruggs.
Yeah,
version.
Oh, yeah.
Something like Henry Ruggs. But,
Do you want to top order this or it's whatever?
I will.
Or also, I'll just add it to my collection. It's Kyler Murray.
No, you can keep it if you want. You paid for your box, though.
That was a bang.
Paid for your box.
Joe Burrow was good?
Yeah, you paid for your box.
Yeah.
So now, do we sell and get more?
So,
Or
hey,
what does it do?
House of Cards. Bang with the best of them.
Got some bangers.
Bang with the best of them.
That might be
with the
by the way,
best of
Mark,
them.
if the always listening, that
That's
might be a
t-shirt.
slogan.
No, that should be the
Might
Boys
just made
House
the
of Cards. Hey, I'm Brett Martin from the Boys House of Cards. Come bang with the best of them. I mean, what's wrong with that?
I think we're on to something.
I think we got it.
It's our favorite part of the show.
I know.
I
it's
kind of
nuts.
care if anybody else likes it or not. It's our favorite part of the show.
I come here early to get to the show for this stuff.
All right, we got to go. Florida State, Georgia Tech tonight, 8:30 on ESPN 690. Join us at UNF tomorrow. Ospreys will play at 5 and 8 o'clock against Lipscomb. UNFospreys.com for more information and tickets. But come on by, say hello, watch some hoops as well. And we will keep you posted on Byron, Leftwich, and the latest for the Jacksonville Jaguars on CBS 47, Fox 30, social media as well. What if Dilla is wrong? Have a good night, everybody.